It wouldn't be a winter in the Midwest without some cold-hearted twists from Mother Nature. So here we sit. The boys head out to explore in search of fishable ice, and they once again find themselves in west central Minnesota, what they would call Lakes Country. And nestled in the middle of it all is Ottertail County, the crown jewel of Minnesota. Its borders encompass 1,048 lakes, more than any other county in the United States. A landscape littered with water, home to some of the biggest panfish you can find across the ice belt. An unexpected turn to their hopeful plans as they anxiously await the right conditions in the metro area. Who wouldn't love coming to the area where all their dreams could come true? And now we come back to where it all began. The Twin Cities metropolitan area, located within 60 miles of downtown Minneapolis, is the fabled crappie capital that most can only dream of. Lakes and rivers sprawling with habitat, seemingly a genetic anomaly. It produces the largest top-end crappies you can find anywhere in the ice belt. And these fish are largely only targetable when its waters are delicately sealed under a firm cap of ice. Teeming with the pressure of ice communities established across the lakes, and the challenge of cracking the code on crappies hell-bent on moving from shallow to deep and everywhere in between. We once again find our crew coming home.
All right, what's up, everybody?
What up?
I think we're live, so obviously comment whatever's going on. First of all, biggest thing tonight. So these live streams, yeah, we're all here. See, so these live streams roll with. We don't really have a huge agenda or anything. Maybe we should have prepped a little more, but we don't have a huge agenda. So these roll with whatever questions from the season. You have of maybe stuff we filmed, stuff we haven't filmed, whatever you got questions on, we'll talk about. And also we have like, I'll say 8 to 10 One Boat Network codes, free codes for free mapping for a year that Griff is going to pick various comments throughout the stream, and you will be able to win free 1 year subscription. So.
Each is worth $25 too. So
you got to butter up.
Want to save some money? You got to butter up Griff.
Yeah. So Griff is the man with all the One Boat Network codes. Yeah.
He's looking to deal.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, obviously comment questions and everything. We're going to hang out with all you guys. First thing I want everyone to do, especially if you're on Facebook, go share this everywhere. So actually, if you guys want to go do that too,
already did.
Oh, you already did. Okay.
Damn,
I haven't
shared.
I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to do that now.
You should talk, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get this going. First thing we're going to talk about though too. So with all this, we're kicking off. Thorne Brothers is having like a very, I'd say like almost a blowout sale on ice fishing stuff. They have everything on their sale page marked down a ton right now.
This is like one of the best times to get a Vexlar, by the way. Their prices on Vex units right now are, I mean, they're insane.
Pretty much everything that's high dollar in the ice fishing
is low dollar
yeah,
right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So the biggest thing with that is everything's marked down. We'll go through a few different things that are on sale throughout the stream. But the biggest thing will be, they're kicking it off. If you guys need any items, prices right now, everybody's always like, oh, the St. Paul Ice Show. Prices right now are lower than the St. Paul Ice Show. Yeah. So if you want to get something, it's the best deals of the year, and that's where you can go. But we're going to start rolling through questions and everything. What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming in. Dakota's here. Bernie's here. Heather's here.
The
Matt's
heavy
here.
hitters have arrived.
Yeah, everybody's here.
Everybody.
All right, here we go. Yeah, everybody's starting to roll in. Okay, Griff, have you been out? How's the ice in the metro? I'm gonna start answering. I need to share some
That
stuff.
depends on where you go. If you go, south, not so good. Kind of the mid area of the metro has been pretty solid, and then
North is
north has been kind of iffy actually.
Mhm.
So I mean, I don't know. I just would say go out there, check the ice yourself. Don't really rely on what other people say, which
Yeah.
I really don't do anytime. But,
every lake's been different.
yeah. So get out there, check it, see what happens.
For sure.
Okay. Like we said, so we got a bunch of people hopping on and everything. Griff's going to give away a bunch of One Boat Network codes during this stream. So if you ask good questions, you'll be eligible. Griff will just tell me they win a code and we'll announce it. And then you just have to slide into Griff's DMs and you'll get it at the end of the stream because I have the Excel file of all the codes.
But you have to comment to win.
Yeah, you have to comment to win. All right. So Bernie, our guy Bernie, he's been around since season 1. Love Bernie, the most positive commenter we've had on the YouTube channel.
Let's give him a code.
Yeah. All right. Bernie
There we
wins
go.
a
There
code.
it is.
First
Boom.
code, Bernie.
Boom.
Bernie wins a code.
Just
Didn't
like
even
that.
do anything.
Just like that. We got him.
Griff's the
But he's
code
been legit.
Santa.
He's been here the whole time. So come on.
Be like Bernie.
Yeah.
we like
Be
Bernie.
like Bernie. All right. So Bernie wants to know if we fish the North Metro. Waldo.
Every once in a while, we actually do fish the North Metro. Not as often as some areas of
We
the
filmed
Metro.
a couple
but
shows in the
we
North
have.
Metro this year.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
all basically are in the South Metro, so it's
Yeah. We're like south and west where we live, so we like to fish. south
not because
and
the
west.
fishing's not good there though. There's
We-
some really good lakes in the North
lakes.
Metro.
We just like to not travel as much, I
Right.
guess.
That one right.
But
below.
Bernie, message Griff.
Yeah.
And-
Message Griff.
Yeah. Message him and he'll get you your code.
Or email me. Bernie might not have a Facebook or Instagram if I remember correctly. So if Bernie emails me, I'll get you a code.
Mm-hmm.
Brady, I would like to start fishing the river. How do you go about finding the right backwater lake to fish?
That's
I know
actually
Pink,
a really good
Pink
All right.
can answer this because they just did an exploratory mission and
Yes.
we found new fish. So,
So I guess if you're just getting into it, what he said, I would love to start. Okay. So if you're just starting fishing the river, biggest thing is finding areas that are either one, always connected to the main river channel, even on low water, or finding places that on low water still have enough pool to like sustain fish. So like some of the backwater lakes we fish that are not connected to the river unless it floods have, like 4 to 5 foot of depth, even in the summertime. So they don't like lose all their oxygen and die off. But if you're just going out scouting, that's the biggest thing is just finding water that holds fish the majority of the year. Because in the wintertime, the fish are only going to be in places that they got into in the spring. But jeez. All right. Anyway, but yeah, so just figure out places that it's easiest to find those spots in the summer. In the wintertime is obviously an awesome time to fish those, but finding the spots is so easy in the summertime. You can jump in a kayak or canoe or something, paddle around a section of river that you think might be good, find some areas that have 4 to 5 feet of depth and just start checking them out.
I would also say, number one, if you're going to go start exploring right now, the river ice has gotten extremely sketchy.
Oh yeah.
Like-
don't. Yeah.
I would not recommend doing it right now.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe after it cools down a little bit, but this time of year, it's really hard for the river to freeze again. And that's not us being like, oh, we're trying to save river bites. We're literally not. Don't die.
I literally was at the river this weekend on Saturday, and I was flying a drone around, scouting it out, and I would say 90% of the water I checked was open.
Yeah.
So,
We'll go along with that.
You were in a
Listen,
kayak.
Yeah, you're in a boat.
no, he wasn't.
Shut up. God.
So Scott,
Oh, it's
we're
out
gonna-
there now.
I guess.
Yeah, but you were supposed to. That's our private Snapchat group.
Disregard.
He didn't tell anyone where we were all year, and then he just blows
Try to
that
keep
out.
it quiet.
I didn't
Okay.
say where.
Scott, yeah. Okay, Scott McLean wants to know, Pink, when are you and Joe Holland going to have a cook-off? He called you out the other day, jokingly.
All right,
Oh.
Joe. First of all, I've been to Maine and I ate food there and it was dust. So we can, if you really want to get into this, Joe, I will take that any
No
day.
salt. You
If
can't
you like
use
salt, go to me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we love Joe. We're good friends with
Oh,
Joe. Okay, so Cody White. What is your favorite size Pinhead?
16th.
16th is number 1. Griff, what have we been using lately? You and I have been on a lot more lately.
The 8th for like probably the
lot.
last month and a half. I've been straight running that 8th. I haven't taken it off. I just switched colors basically the other day finally.
Well, the little ones, like, it works good, but they just eat it so deep.
Well, and even that big one, but that big one gets down there 3 times as fast.
It does.
And if
You
you're
can just-
running after
it's like a
them, it's
missile.
just like poof.
Yeah. And it's got a big hook on it.
Yes,
Yes,
way bigger
yeah.
hook for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so we're gonna keep rolling through comments right now. Another thing I want to say is, so this is a secret between all of us. All right, all you guys in the live stream, this is for you. We're not telling anybody else. So live stream guests, we're doing a 20% off discount for our merch. So got this sweatshirt. Griff's wearing one that's also in stock right now. I got this one, which is in stock. You guys get 20% off. Use the code. It's livestream20. It should work. I actually haven't tested it, so if you have any issues, DM me and I'll figure it out after. But it should work. It's worked at various points this year. So yeah, we're gonna
It
try.
may or
It.
may not work.
Yeah, it's 20% off. So that's what we got going. Jameson, we've been waiting for an 18 to bite our Pinhead, so you're next in line.
After me though.
Yeah, after Griff. I'm rolling through the comments right now, so someone buy time. How many batteries do we roll through in a day?
Well, what those new batteries are those ones you got are big though.
Yeah, they're beefy.
So I don't even know if that
The most we ran through this year was 5 of the 9 and
The
6
9.
amp flex volts. Yeah.
Yeah,
we went through
was-
3 9s and 2 6s.
that's on an 8-inch bit with shaver blades.
Laser blades.
On the clamp.
Yeah.
But they're not chipper blades. Is what I'm saying.
No.
Like it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
What's the best Thorne rod for a small tungsten in 20 feet of water?
Griff's rod or Bart's.
Or
Both of them
Bart's.
are really good.
Yeah,
It just depends on if you want to be closer to the hole and tight lining or if
One
you
of the
want.
spring bobber rods.
Yeah, they're both spring bobber rods and really good for finesse fishing.
Hell yeah.
I fish a river system with some deep basin holes, and they're usually there. This year, not so much. Should I go shallower?
Yes.
Yes.
Go
Yeah.
somewhere. They ain't there. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like,
The river flooded this year a bunch, so fish moved.
Yeah.
They've probably been chilling in those basin holes the last few years because literally they can't go anywhere else. So
Yeah.
since it flooded, they can actually go other places.
Yeah.
What line we using with pinheads and Tika flashes?
we are using the 4-pound frost mono on most of our baits with treble hooks, and then on a lot of the baits like jig and plastics, I'm using the 3-pound frost fluoro.
Well, they're trying to show off his new
Oh, yeah.
tattoo.
He's
Yeah.
flexing.
Dane did a great job.
Our homie
Get
Dane.
it closer,
Yeah.
dude. Let him see that smally.
Yeah.
Woo.
Smalley chasing a DT10.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he didn't eat it yet.
He's about to.
All right.
Almost, when he flexes it,
Griff,
bites.
answer this for
No,
Ron.
actually, when
What's that?
when I flex, it goes from a DT fat to a DT.
Ron wants to know tips for fishing in Maine. I think Ron might be going to meet with CJ. They don't have much ice out in the New York area, so he was asking me about where to go. So, what tips you got for fishing in Maine?
Fish whatever you want, man. Drop down. They don't care. They're
Yeah.
pretty
The
dumb.
fish
They're
in
pretty
Maine
And if
are
you fish
so
with
dumb.
CJ, he's gonna put you on them, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be a pinhead, drop kick, plastic. But
He
we
fishes
pretty
the
much
same way as us.
yeah, we kind of do the same thing. So like the pinhead was our deal when we were out there.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
just get down to him quick.
Yeah.
How do we set up our schoolies, Griff, for backing or mods?
A lot of people do it differently. Like I use rubber bands. I've seen people use tape, medical tape. Where they wrap the bandages up. I've seen all different kinds, but just get it as close as you can to a 1-to-1 that you can just put your line over. But no real science to it. Just use something to take up that gap.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna keep rolling through questions, like we said. Everybody be commenting stuff. One thing I do want to bring up real quick, we're gonna roll through this. So next Saturday, February 24th, we're having our Break Your PB St. Jude fundraiser. So we had this last year. It It was a big hit. Had a bunch of fun with everybody. And we're going to have it again, have everybody out. There's going to be a $20 suggested donation. And if you're one of the first 50 people there that do that donation, we have limited edition pint glasses for the first people that show up. We ended up grabbing them. So hopefully we'll see you guys all there. Along with that, we had some prizes last year. The biggest one, let's see if I get the right one here. Oh, I need to get rid of this comment. Just a second here. Oh my gosh, I blew it.
What'd you do, dude?
I got to get rid of this comment. Oh, there we go. Now we can see it. And I need to get rid of the banner. Okay, there we go. So grand prizes at this Break Your PB St. Jude fundraiser. So biggest one we want to tell all you guys. This is the first time we've ever offered it, and probably the only time we're ever going to offer it is at this fundraiser. So people ask us how they get a fish with us. The only chance you're ever going to get a fish with all four of us together, get the Crappie Chronicle experience. You're going to be able to win that at this St. Jude fundraiser. So you and two friends. So bring out 3 people. Pink will cook. We'll take you to a place where we catch really big crappies, and we'll go catch some real big ones and have a bunch of fun. We also got club level wild tickets, guide trips with the other guys. Bernie emailed me. Thank you, Bernie. I just got the notification. We got guide trips, and also Pink is doing a cooking experience for 4 people.
And
Yes.
2 FLX 30 Ultra Packs.
Yeah, I didn't get to that one yet.
Easy, dude.
He's getting way ahead of it. It's because he feels guilty because he doesn't
That's
have a
okay.
thing on there.
I've been too busy.
So raffle prizes will also include, we got a Clam Nanook Ice House. We got 2 Vexilar 30s, like Waldo said. We got 4 Chronicle series rods, hundreds of dollars of Clam Pro tackle kits, a Blackfish Hit Gale hoodie, cases of Break Your PB as long as you're 21 or older. We got a custom Maluna cooler, and we got a relevant Hardwater bronze pack, as well as Panger is bringing a bunch of stuff too. So this is going to be a great end of the year deal. I know for the people there last year, we had a great time. We will have a food truck this year. Stephen D's does a bunch of great burgers and fries and cheese curds. You've probably had them at the brewery before.
That's really good.
They're super good. So they will be there this year. Now we're going to get back to talking fishing. Okay. How do I get rid of this? All right. Now we're back.
Well, like, you should come.
Yeah, you should totally come. Please come. All right. So, like we said, if you want to get merch, live stream 20 for 20% off. I have actually seen a couple orders, so the code is working, evidently. Now, back to all your comments. Remember, if you're commenting, Griff's going to pick a bunch of people to win One Boat Network stuff. Now, I need to roll through a bunch of comments. What's up, Todd?
We already went through some of those.
We haven't gotten here.
Damn,
do you
some
guys
cookbook
fish on
love.
days with rising pressure that may have a drop or two throughout the day? Waldo.
Days with rising pressure. Yeah, we do on some lakes. Sometimes we don't really have a choice, and we just have a free day to film, so we're going to go and fish. And we've actually found that some lakes are really good on rising pressure. But for just as many lakes we found that are good on rising pressure, we found just as many lakes, if not double, that are better on falling pressure. So it's
Every lake's different.
Every lake's different. It's not going to change if the fish are there or not. It's just going to change on how you approach them
and how they act.
Yeah. So a lot of times we'll have to, downsize or go more finessey in order to convert bites. But it can be tough on those rising pressure days. But if you don't have a choice, you're going to go. So just kind of play that into effect when you're preparing for that day, and just know that you might have to go down in size or even go finesse on them.
But falling pressure days get us excited.
Yeah. Falling pressure.
Those days are the ones we
just hope you pick the right lake.
Those are the days where we call in sick to work.
Or not.
Dakota, our homie, he's been in a bunch of stuff. What happens when you get that 18 film? Do you guys keep going for a 19 or 20? Do you end the series? Thoughts?
Never fishing again.
No.
Yeah.
Hanging her up.
I don't know. We just need to get it. That's
We'll
we
deal
can't
with it once we get there.
Yeah, we can't talk about what we're gonna do after until we get it. I thought we were gonna get it in that last episode. I was pretty confident. I think Waldo and I might have broke it off, to be honest. Like, if we're being really honest, I think we did. So Pink, did you go to northern Wisconsin at all this year? Magic 8 Outdoors wants to know.
This year, yes, not this winter. I did spend actually quite a bit of time up there this summer and early fall, but not, yeah, this winter has just been so busy. I never made it up there. I wish I could spend a ton of time up there in the winter. There's so many good lakes and different bites up there that I just haven't explored enough in the wintertime, but I'll be there a ton this summer. So yeah.
I lived in Otter Tail County my whole life. Is there a specific area of the county? The whole thing's good.
Yeah,
Like,
we
honestly.
literally fish the entire county.
We fish in every
north
corner.
to south. I
Yeah.
mean, there's not an area that's bad in that county. Really, every lake is good.
Ryan, I think your dad wants to know who cleans up after the cooking.
Well, it usually sits around till at least the next morning, and then we hurry up and get rid of it before the Airbnb people get mad. So
I think he might be referring to your house.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
So
It's just
correct.
clean. He just comes out and it's just done.
When are we sliding into Canada? I'm not sure yet. We've debated it. Maybe in future years, but
After we get an 18.
yeah, we need to get an 18 in the cities. We keep talking about all these travels, and like then everybody was like, we traveled, and everybody was like, "Oh, you left the metro," and we came back, and everyone's like, "Go to Canada." I'm like, can't quite keep up with everybody right now. Nathan wants to know, what's the toughest thing to do when targeting the biggest fish in the lake? What do you think, Griff?
Just sticking with it. A lot of people get deterred by chasing that fish, or they don't think they're going to get on it, and that fish might move for. We've had them move for hours before they stop, and you get on them. But just stick with it. I mean, you got to really just stay with them, and when you do get that chance, you got to capitalize.
No,
I think that
we just don't settle.
Yeah.
Well, I think the toughest thing is not getting distracted by like smaller
ones.
fish.
Yeah.
That too,
Or like
yeah.
getting
Yeah.
on 12 inches and being like, I think like I just need to weed through enough of these.
As the
Yeah.
18
Because the
slipped
answer
away,
is no.
you were
Yeah.
chasing.
Yeah, because we'll literally leave those fish biting to
Yes.
go find bigger ones.
Yeah, I
And
think
that's the hardest part about it.
I
is
think
leaving fish biting.
Yeah.
I think a big thing with this too is like you have to realize when it's a day the big ones are going to bite. Like that's why in the last episode, if you saw Waldo and I freaking out so much and trying to get them there, is because we were like, gates are wide open, all the big ones are biting. Because like typically you maybe get that window for what, 30 minutes, and like
Yeah.
Waldo and I had it all day, so that doesn't happen very often. So
Yeah.
realizing when you have like 16, 17s, 18s don't just bite all day. Like they bite once a week,
Yeah.
maybe. So it's like you have to get your opportunity, and like Griff said, you have to take advantage of it, and also realize you're gonna lose a lot of them because
Well,
they're
I mean, we
huge
literally
crappies.
left the place we were and drove all the way there
Yeah.
just for a shot at it.
Yeah. And you
You know
guys
what I mean?
both caught big ones.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, like that. I mean, that wasn't just like moving a different spot
No,
of the lake.
you guys drove what, hour and 10 minutes or something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Long ways. Any tips on changing out the hooks on the Tika Flash?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all you.
Upgrade a size. Yeah, they take a lot of time. I did like 14 or 15 of them, and I called it good. But
How long did it take you though?
It took like an hour and a half. Get a micro split ring pliers. You got to be careful with the split rings because they are small, so they will bend.
Gamagatsu makes a good one. by the
Gami
way.
makes a good one. And yeah, they will
It's perfect for ice fish.
just upgrade one size, basically, is what you want to do on no matter which one you're on, especially the 1/16th. Like on the 1/16th, you could even go from an 18 to a 14. Thorne Brothers does have a bunch of gaff hooks in stock. Like we said, Thorne's having a bunch of sales right now. One of those sales, if you're a fan of cooking and everything Pink does, you can use code CatchCook23. You can buy 2, get 2 free on their website right now.
All catch and cook.
if you need to stock up on batter, that's your time.
Yeah, I
to
think
do
they
it.
just have the breading in stock right now. I don't think
Yeah.
they have any of the seasonings. But
Okay.
We won't do another. We probably won't do another Blackfish order till next year. So
Yeah.
around that'll be a Black Friday thing, probably every year as long as we do this because it went over really well. So just wait
Yeah.
for Black Friday.
Yeah.
What is your go-to method for a negative bite?
Ooh, schooly.
Dynamite.
Yeah. Dynamite.
Don't fish.
Yeah.
Honestly though, we look for active fish. So like if fish aren't acting right on a lake, we'll just leave. and go to a different lake.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing that we do that other people don't do. If they're not biting well, we don't try to convince them, because the thing is, if they're not biting well, the big ones definitely aren't going to bite.
Even if they're not schooled right, there's been times where we've left because we just know they're not going to do what we want them to do. So we don't try to force things.
But that's probably why, like, a lot of episodes we have where it's like we grind all day and then it goes down like the last 30 minutes, is because like throughout the day we're making changes, changing locations, doing whatever we got to do to get on active fish, and like eventually you land on them. So
what's your first lure to hit the water on a new body of water? We can all do this. Griff, what's yours?
I would say a Pinhead for the power game, and then if you were doing finesse, like
no, you only get one.
You only get one.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's one question.
I'm a Tikka minnow guy. I love that thing.
I'm probably doing well now. It's going to be a drop kick with a Mackie minnow heads. That will probably be mine for a while.
It's my favorite.
I would say mine,
no particular reason, actually.
Mine changed a little bit because I always was like definitely Pinhead gang, but like this year I literally haven't taken a drop kick and a Mackie off the entire year, and I've literally just been dealing that. And if they don't eat that, then I'll change. But that's pretty much been this year anyway.
Griff, you got anyone you want to give a One Boat Network thing to? Have you seen any good comments lately? Just keep your eyes peeled. Okay.
I'm looking.
Okay.
Do better.
Yeah, come on.
Frozen cookbook has been a great way to mix up the mundane recipes we usually turn to. Having the crappie lobster rolls tonight.
Oh,
right on.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a popular one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I've seen a lot of posts of that recipe. So,
why do some lakes that hold huge sunfish and crappies all summer long? You can catch them during the summer, but during the ice season, can't find anything. Lake's a big bowl, only 150 acres, gets down to 55 feet. Well, I don't think you want to catch them in the winter because they'll probably die.
They're probably just roaming.
Yeah, they're probably roaming.
And the nice thing is it's not that big of a lake, so pretty much you just four corner it, and you just got to find the areas where you see life is a big thing. And once you start seeing life, that's when we really kind of hunker down and focus on breaking down that specific area. But I don't know, we usually,
unless it's a weedy lake.
Yeah, if it's a weed lake, then you just look for areas of big expansive flats. Usually those bigger weed flats are where a lot of the fish will congregate.
Griff, what's your favorite thing about your rod that you run in the Chronicle series? Because you're always using that schoolie rod.
Yeah, it's sensitivity, just to be able to detect those super, super light bites. That's hard to say one thing with it because, like, you're able to do a lot more finesse jigging with it. But my favorite thing is just the sensitivity of what you can feel, your jig, the bites, just everything kind of going on.
I think my favorite part about that is the control you get with it.
Right. Well, that's all part of it.
Yeah.
One, like,
if you haven't caught fish on a schoolie rod, it is addictingly fun.
It is. And I don't know if a lot of people know, but like the spring bobber on that rod, it's not just like the same one that's on Bart's rod. It's actually trimmed down, so it's slightly stiffer. So like it doesn't have that same like flailing action.
Right, it's not whippy.
You can still pound with it.
Yeah, you can actually get a lot more action out of a jig with it. And I mean, it doesn't load up quite as much because it's not as soft, but I like the stiffness of that spring bobber a lot.
Waldo, how do you know what lakes are accessible and how to get on them with the possibility of trespassing on private property?
That would be Onyx is what I know a lot of us use for just showing property lines and stuff and easements, and Pinkalla and I use it. I mean, a lot for everything, hunting, fishing. I mean,
I use it just all the time for random stuff.
And it's even good to get like landowners' names and stuff. And then you can like look up a phone number from getting their name and address. And so there's a lot of useful things, but Onyx is a great tool for that. And we use that a lot.
Yeah. And there's a number of other like mapping apps like that are similar. A lot of them are geared towards like the hunting market, but I mean, they correlate. They work the same. I mean, it's just property ownership. So,
hey guys, thanks for doing this. How is the current non-winter affecting your approach to any water you fish? Honestly, like, and we've talked about this. I talked about this on the Ice Team podcast the other day. If you can go out and be safe right now, the bite is phenomenal. So like the people who aren't fishing, like what's our approach? It's honestly, it's been pretty easy. Right, Griff?
Yep.
It hasn't been very hard. So if you're able to get out, like I know a lot of people aren't thinking ice fishing right now, but man, you should be because the bite is awesome. It's been really good all
like
winter.
First ice all year long, basically.
Yeah, first and late ice combined, it's awesome. It's like it freezes and then it starts melting, and the fish just love it. It's been great. Between Waldo and my rod, which one is the most useful? And also, what is the sizes for jigs and spoons? It depends if you're using tungstens or pinheads more. If you're using tungstens, my rod. If you're going to use like pinheads or spoons, your rod.
Yeah,
Or
I think
small tikas.
Yeah, it comes down to like if you're power fishing or finesse fishing, but like 4 mil and under, Bart's rod is definitely better. If you're using like 4 mil and larger, or like really big 4 mils and plastics, then my rod can handle it a little bit easier. But they're two very different rods. You got one that's more finessey and one that's more power fishing.
We should give Jay a code.
Yeah,
There you have it.
Wait, Jay?
Yeah.
Which one? Shit.
The one
Where'd
he
it go?
just, that guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jay, you just want a code.
Yeah.
Nice work.
DM, yeah, good work.
DM Griff.
DM Griff. He's
Yep.
taking care of him.
Yep.
So he won a code. Andre wants to know. So eventually, do you think live scope will ruin crappie populations? Me and a buddy talk, thinking we can see the DNR making a statewide limit, 5 fish limit. I think we'll all kind of chime in something on our thoughts on this because I think it's important. I think if people use it incorrectly, it could hurt fisheries. You can wipe them out pretty quickly. However, from what we've seen, fish are very intelligent and they adapt very rapidly. Like you guys saw with that video we had, that last one with that wide open bite and catching all those big ones. Yes, we did go back there. And you can't even find them with live.
Yeah.
They melted. I don't even know where they are. They melted in the bottom. They vanished. There's a hole in the bottom of the lake. I don't know. So fish are very good at hiding. And that is one thing. They will adapt as time goes on. I think a lot of it just comes down to educating people correctly to make sure they just don't keep limits all the time, because you will see lakes get decimated quickly. We've seen a couple of them do that, but yeah, what do you guys think?
Well, that's the thing with like live scope in general. It's more just people using it and just not selectively harvesting fish and just like mutilating populations. It really has nothing to do with the fact that they're using it. I mean, yeah, is it more efficient? Sure.
Yeah,
Like,
you just
no
drill
argument
less
there.
holes. That's it.
Right,
You still got to make them eat.
Yeah, you still got to get them
catch
to
'em.
bite. And like, if you're releasing all the fish, I would say it has very, very little impact.
I mean, they said
honestly.
the same exact thing in the 90s when Vexlars first became popular.
Right.
Didn't make too big of a difference, did it?
Right.
You still got to make them bite in the end.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
If you're knifing every crappie you catch, yeah, it's going to probably be a problem.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it comes down to self-regulation more than anything. If you're responsible with the technology, then it's not going to be a problem. But it's the people who aren't responsible with it that could affect it. And there are some lakes where I do think 5 fish limits on crappies are actually important, but there's other lakes where they should almost have it wide open because they
Until they
need
drop
to
it, yeah.
they need to reduce that population because they're stunted. So it all comes down to a lake by lake basis on how the DNR regulates the
But it is
lakes.
tough to manage that way too.
It-
Like that
it is.
granular, like it's hard.
It is.
It is.
And we've started to see a little bit of an increase in that with them doing the special regs on panfish lakes.
Yes.
And so they are actively doing that, but I don't think they'll make it a statewide thing because they know statewide regs that are so restricted like that are good for some, but really bad for others.
Right. But like you saw what they did with like the pike regulations. Like
Yeah.
they literally split the state into zones and
Yeah.
are managing it in like several zones. So maybe in the future there's some sort
Yeah.
of panfish regulatory system that incorporates like
Yeah.
zones or lakes or whatever. So
Yeah, that's good. Naspel, thank you. Appreciate it, man. Tournament is not still go. Well, is the Stone Cold still going on?
I believe so. Yeah.
I didn't register my fish.
Yes.
So
It's still, I think it's still
I
going
called them
on.
and said I didn't feel like that would be necessary.
I think it's through this week.
But I don't know if you would have been in the top 2 or 3 right now. There's
There's a
someone
couple
past
people that
Joe.
whacked
Yeah.
them.
yeah, there's
Yeah. There's some very, very big bags in there. Pink, top 3 ways to cook crappie. Someone got your cookbook for Christmas and they've given a couple of tries. Love having options other than tacos and sandwiches. What would you say your top 3
what,
are?
What are your 3 favorites? I've never asked you.
Let's see. I think the Juicy Lucy is an awesome one. It's like a different way. And any of the ones where you're like using a food processor or something to like break the fish down instead of like just using fillets. I would say that one is definitely one, like it is in the cookbook too. I'm just trying to think of which ones are like actually in there. That would be the chilaquiles one.
That one.
Chilaquiles is
Unreal.
great.
That one
Did
slaps.
you say the pizza?
Oh, and yeah, and the pizza.
pizza.
So that one is another like using the food processor to make fish sausage, which you can use for a lot of different things. But I would say like collectively of ones that are in the cookbook, those 3 are probably the ones we like the most, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One thing I'll add real quick. So like we said, Thorne Brothers is having a big sale right now on ice fishing stuff. If you're looking for a Vexlar unit, I think FLX 30 sold out today. So sorry, but FLX 28s you can get for like $550. They're 25 to 30% off at Thorne Brothers right now, which is lower than the St. Paul Ice Show. So if you want a new flasher, they're super cheap at Thorne Brothers right now. You can go grab one there. And yeah, we're gonna keep rolling through questions now and hanging out with you guys. Joe, we do not use live bait, like very rarely. Actually, I dropped a minnow on one the other day with Griff, and they swam away.
You and I dropped minnows on them, and they swam away too.
And we did that actually out on that bite where we were catching the 16s. They started not liking us, and we were like, drop a minnow, and they swam away. And we were like, well, just kidding.
However,
they didn't even acknowledge.
we did go walleye fishing like a week ago, and we used only live bait, and we crushed that.
Yeah. They were choking the suckers. That was a beatdown.
That was fun.
Matt, have we noticed faster moving schools of crappie this year? I think it depends on the conditions. I actually think they've been staying way more still because there's a lot less pressure.
Yeah.
I think the only way they've been moving faster is if you're on a lake that's very clear and there's not a lot of cover because the ice is pretty clear.
Yeah.
But even then, like they've just been staying pretty still this year, to be honest, from what we've noticed. So maybe you could be on a lake that's actually getting pressured a fair amount this year.
Yeah. I think it all depends on where you're at.
Guy asking, heading to Red Lake next week. Recommend anything different from when you guys fished late ice last year? I don't know. Griff, you got?
No, they're still in the same spot.
Send the pin.
I don't got the pin. You can't have that. But it's up on that side of the lake, the north side.
Yeah,
there you go.
Find them.
From what I've heard, it does not matter what you dish down on them. Well, you just got to get on top
You
of
find
them.
them, you crush them.
Yeah. I would just say the biggest thing, like we've said, and I mean, there's been a handful of other videos that have come out now that, I mean, some are good, some are bad. But I would say the biggest thing is just realize what you're doing to a lake and selectively harvest. Take good care of them because they will vanish pretty quickly once everybody starts finding them. Yeah,
it is super fun though.
Sobe's our friend. We love him.
Just got ran over by that bus.
Yeah, don't worry. We did talk with him. We love him. We're good friends. It's all chill.
That bus have
and I would actually say from that, the one thing you guys should know is if you do go up there and do catch them and you're like, man, I would never do what Sobe did. False, because you're going to run into a school of them and run into that same predicament because it's really fun. So just know what you're doing and be prepared for it because it can happen to anyone.
Because you're going to blast them.
Yeah, you will catch them. Yeah, it's very fun. So go enjoy it.
What does it say?
It's not a question. It's just a good comment.
Yep. It's just a great comment.
Statements are valid.
Yeah, statements are valid. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
This is why we don't let Waldo pick questions. Do you see a question mark in there?
No, I was just saying it was a good comment. I didn't say question.
When do you know it's worth putting an iFish Pro out or live bait? I usually end up chasing them all day. Waldo, you got something for that?
When you find an area where they're not absolutely flying around and you are on big ones, it is never a bad idea to put an iFish Pro out. Plus, it's also a good search tool because you can leave it sitting where you were and you'll follow a school around. Another school might return in the place of the school that you're chasing. And it'll be a good way of letting you know more fish came in and those fish either might be bigger or more active. So it's always a good search tool.
I've been recommending the GoPro 9 That's what we use for chesties and everything. It's been one of the better ones. The 8's really bad. 10 is so I would
7's
say the
kinda
9.
meh.
The 7's also very bad. So the 9's good. I would get the 9. What rod are we running the 1/8 ounce pinhead on? Pink's Chronicle.
Mhm.
That's basically what we use for all
Yep,
of it.
that's our whooping stick.
What never leaves your truck during the ice season besides the obvious stuff? You got something, Pink? Got something clever?
I'm just gonna preface this by saying I don't leave anything in
Everything?
my truck. anymore.
Oh,
Which
He's-
is false, but I should.
I was gonna say which is false.
Don't leave stuff in your truck. That's it.
That's a really good question. I would probably say, for me, one thing that never leaves the truck are ice picks,
yeah, especially this year.
especially
Ice
this
picks.
year.
And the chisel.
And
Yeah,
and
and
the
the
spud
spud.
bar.
It just
Yeah.
rides. in
Yeah,
the
just
back.
the safety gear, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially like a year like this, like we always try to have it on it or at least be mindful of it.
Well, we go to so many bodies of water, different bodies of water, like especially like I don't even know how many were we on this year that we only went to once and never went back even. So it's
Right.
like we
a
didn't,
lot.
we didn't just like spend time out there. We're constantly investigating new areas. So
Mhm.
Any pointers for fishing shallow, finicky fish? Anytime we drill or walk, they spook off. Drill a grid for shallow fish, especially drill a grid of holes or drill some holes and wait for them to come back or see if they do. You can't really sharpshoot them well unless it's super dirty water.
Or in the back.
or
Or you're in the
experiment with,
backwaters.
like tip downs and that.
Yeah.
Like we don't really use those, but that's a super popular way to fish shallow water.
Yeah. Or
Especially if you have,
limit like the holes you drill too.
or that, yeah.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. We got Justin's coming to the Break Your PV event this year. We'll
All
bring that
right.
back up for people. We are having our Break Your PB fundraiser.
Sweet. He didn't-
So
he
this will
didn't
be
make a
on
question.
February
Mhm.
24th from 4 to 9. Be at Giesenbroich Beer Co. You can have beers with us, hang out all night. We raise money for St. Jude. You can also win the Crappie Chronicle experience. Go fishing with all of us. We'll cook food, catch some big crappies, have a good time. So yeah, come on out. It'll be a good time. And yeah, that'll be happening in a week from Saturday. So that'll be a good time. Okay, we're gonna keep rolling through.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's
No.
a good one. What model relevant sunglasses?
Yeah, what model relevance we wear? Griff, what do you got?
I do the Ranger with the hard water browns.
Mhm. I do the Outlander with the hard water bronze as well.
I actually do the Triton with I like the rose gold. Those are mine personally. I like the hard water bronze a lot. It's just, I don't know. The rose gold's something good with my eyes.
Yeah,
They just
everyone's
work really
eyes are
well.
different.
Yeah.
And I have a bunch of the Triton ones and I do like those, but pretty much all year I've been wearing a pair of not relevant frames, and Relevant has this cool program called the Reload program where you can basically take any pair of frames that you like and just send them to them and they will like make lenses that fit those from like the Relevant lens technology. So I've been wearing like whatever, it's just some different frames with the chameleon with the green mirror has been my favorite this year.
Yeah, you
So,
really like that.
I
green
do.
mirror.
I
Yeah.
do.
Chris wants to know who wins in a fish off, Waldo and Griff or Ben and Colby.
Oof, that's a
tough one.
tough
It
one.
might be Ben and Colby.
It might be Ben and Colby. It might be Ben and
I
Colby.
don't know. It'll be hard to
You gotta
not bet
remember-
on Griff. It's just
Colby-
Waldo brings that down so much.
Colby? Well, thank you.
I'm kidding.
Hey, easy with you. Easy with
Oh
you.
god. Depends
You
on
gotta
the day,
remember,
right?
Colby is literally a track star, so he moves faster than any person I've ever
Yeah, but you've
met.
been rucking.
That has zero effect on that
Come on,
at
that
all.
was good.
That was good. All right. I'll actually give you
That
that.
has zero effect on that at all. That doesn't mean I'm fast. I'm still a turtle.
He's just
All right.
I'm just
all
a strong turtle.
right.
El
What do you think?
Tortoise.
What do you think each of your strengths are that you bring to the crew?
That's a really good question.
Do we say this about ourselves, or do
You
we say
have
this
to.
about someone? Okay, yeah, Griff. What do you bring to the crew? Shit.
I don't know. I just experienced. I mean, I'm obviously older than these guys, so I've been
Catches-
around.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't know. I just catch big ones.
Yeah, Griff
Yeah.
catches all the fish.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I have no idea. Fish and
you might be replacing Waldo.
Yeah, no
he
kidding.
can show you how to rock.
I can show you how to
want.
rock. No, I guess I do a lot of research.
Yeah, Waldo is our
yeah.
research guy. I obviously do the video, so I mean that's I think self-explanatory. Pink.
Yeah, I obviously do like most of the cooking. But I would say
All the cooking.
I would say I try.
Griff
I
made.
try to keep the hype level.
pitas.
Oh,
there.
yeah, that's right. Come
Griff
on.
did
Yeah,
make the-
that's
give
me that 0.1%.
A+
Yeah.
pitas, dude.
They were top-notch pitas.
But yeah, like doing what we do, we get in ruts all the time, so it's like just trying to keep that hype level. And
yeah, when one
Yeah.
person's not catching them, the other guy is, and
Yeah.
so like we all feed off each other really well.
for sure.
So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all have something we're really good at, but at the end of the day, we're kind of good at all of it
Well, it's a
because we all
team
feed
thing,
off
you
each
know?
other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one person's catching them, the other people look at like what he's catching them on or what he's doing different, and then we all start catching them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a good team effort, I would say.
Bernie, another good question. Is there something that we can't give him another code, Griff?
Oh.
Is there something that makes you guys think or feel there's giants in there? I know you said DNR website. Is there a specific weed, more mud in the lake, springs? As lame as it is, I would say I think you kind of just have a feeling. When you get out there and if you see how the fish are related to each other, like if you've never been there, a lot of these lakes we kind of have a decent amount of history of, or like have a good history of the area, so we know the area is good. So that's a lot of it, but a lot of it just comes down to a feeling. It's not necessarily a specific weed. The only caveat I would say just looking at a lake is if it's a winter kill lake.
Yeah.
If it's a winter kill lake, it can grow big ones. It's just, does it have them right now or not?
But also,
No.
like, if you have been there before, like, just knowing like how the fish are built, like if you think they're
The
even
build,
genetically
that's
build is
able
good,
to
yeah.
get to that
The
size.
build is a huge thing. If they're thick and tall, then you have a pretty good idea. Like, okay, they're growing fast to get
Right.
like that body shape to them. They don't look super old. The scales aren't massive. The eyeballs
Right.
aren't huge. So, like, I don't know. There's a lot of tells the fish have.
Right.
This is just a compliment for the Frozen Kitchen, Pink. But I bought the Frozen Kitchen cookbook last year. Every time I try a new recipe, my family's very impressed. So many ways to cook crappies I didn't know about. Kudos, Pink.
Thanks, dude.
Where can they get it?
So currently the only place that it's available is on Amazon right now. And the shipping times suck really bad. And I'm aware of that. So we're working on like a different printing and distribution setup. So just know if you buy it from Amazon, it's going to take a while to get to you because it just sucks.
Oh yeah, I got
we're working on
my
fixing
guys
it.
down.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Pink, here's a good one.
Yeah.
What's the best catch and cook batter and seasoning, you think? What can people, if they want to
Okay.
dive into catch and cook?
Okay, so number one seasoning, the whiteout is the best seasoning they make, period. They have right now 4 seasonings. So they have campfire, which is smoked salt. The whiteout is like basically like a garlic seasoning, super good on everything. The all-terrain is kind of like a barbecue one. So if you're into that, I would try that. It's definitely probably my least used one. And then they just dropped a new lemon pepper one that I haven't done a ton with, but it's really good. But I would say that whiteout, if you want to start somewhere, get that. And then as far as the breading, the flame is definitely good. We tried the lemon pepper one though. That one's probably going to end up being my favorite.
That one was really good.
Super good. But
Yeah.
but they have like there's a beer batter and just the regular one, but the flame and then the whiteout seasoning. Unreal.
Planning on doing more custom pinheads. There will probably be developments for different custom colors. I'm trying to figure out how to say this correctly. There probably will be more
Yes.
customs, yes. However, I will say, like, if you want the ones from this year, buy them now because you might not get them again.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know how that's going to work. We do love the colors and we're going to always be tweaking stuff. So just like, if you really like one, get a bunch of it because I'm not going to promise you it's coming back. It's limited edition for a reason.
There's a lot of moving parts there.
Yeah.
What's up, Hunter?
Hey, Hunter. What's the most lakes you fished in one day to find the bite you're looking for? Waldo, how many lakes did we fish that one day?
That was a lot.
It was season 2. I think we
thought
drove.
3?
I think
No,
I think
no.
we actually dropped a line in 3, but we went to 7.
Yes.
Checked 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by checked, we like drove around with live, looking around.
Yeah, getting a feel for what they were really doing.
Yeah, just poking around and
Yeah.
Season 2 or 3, I don't know.
We've hit a lot.
We've hit a lot. Night bites. Don't see you film them very often. No good. Night bites. So I don't know. Well, I think we all kind of have different theories on this. Do you guys got something you want to add,
It just
Waldo?
doesn't fit our format, like what we do. We just don't.
Yeah, there's some lakes where
we
we've done it like in the past, but a lot of times it's kind of a big pain in the ass filming night bites, to be honest with you, keeping lanterns lit.
Yeah.
One, it's a process
don't
filming
need to.
them. 2, I would say we haven't found many good ones recently. So I think there's this common thought out there, I would say, that people say these big crappies eat at night. Like they always go, oh yeah, I caught this 17, but they only eat at night. I think the much bigger reality of that situation is that's when a lot more people have a minnow down a hole and one just swims by. Because when you do if you attack these lakes how we do, one thing you notice at night on a lot of lakes is they tend to die. Like they get really still. Fish don't move around very much. There's not much happening. And yes, you might run across a couple, or maybe there's some lakes in northern Minnesota that they eat until like 8 or 9, after sunset. But there's not a lot of lakes where after dark we see a lot of fish activity. I would say is the biggest thing. We've been trying to get on a couple of them.
They seem to really spread out too.
They really spread out at night.
Well, it's hard for us to invest the time because it's like we'll fish all day. It's hard for us to not be burnt out enough to be like, oh, we should just go.
We're like, it's getting dark. I'm going home.
Yeah. By the time it gets dark, we're ready to.
Yeah, we might be able to catch like 2, maybe 3 extra like fish for the show, but
is it worth
but
banking
it's so hard
on
to
that
film too.
and banking on that can be really hard. But there's some lakes where we've had wicked night bites, and it's just they're either going or not going, and we just haven't landed on. We've tried filming it. We haven't. It's not like we haven't not tried it, but
we were gonna try. We were gonna try a lot more this year, and then we didn't have
the
any
amount
ice.
of footage that we have of trying stuff. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
There'd be 30, 40 episodes a year.
That's really boring.
Yeah.
I did not order those motor oil Mackies. I forgot to tell you, but Dakota found some in stock somewhere. I'm not going to say where it is right now, but there is some in stock somewhere.
If you saw how many I
And
have
you
right
didn't
now,
order them?
No, I forgot.
On
Well, I said I'm a minnow heads guy now.
Until it doesn't work, and then it'll be back to the Mackie.
Do you think the snow on the ice affects the bite? Yeah, I think the only way the bite could be better this year is if there was snow on the ice.
Yeah.
Parody episode on the good old Cedar Swamp would be good. We could maybe work in an episode of trying to catch the biggest crappie in a lake that I don't think's ever produced a 12-incher. That could be interesting.
That would be fun.
We could maybe catch 1,000 crappies that day. Like I'm serious. If all 4 of us were out there for like 8 or 9 hours, I actually think we might be able to catch.
I fished it a lot last year after work with Brooks.
They're so dumb.
It's unbelievable.
They're so small though.
It's unbelievable.
Goose, what's your trick to picking the right lake for the freaks? I find that the DNR information is not accurate in my opinion. I think it can be hit or miss. I think you got to do a lot of research, and you got to I don't think the DNR surveys tell you the whole story, but it can be a good starting point. When you say, Waldo, you do a lot of our research.
They tell you if the genetic ability is there to grow big ones. And then that survey tells you.
Yeah, we don't necessarily look at the numbers. We look more at the size structure of the fish if they have the ability to get that big. But a big thing we look at is the weights of the fish.
Yes.
Like if they didn't, let's say they didn't get any like 14 or 15 plus inch crappies on the survey, but they had the 12s and 13s, and the 13 weighed 1.5 pounds.
Right.
Then okay, those fish are built right. There's more than likely larger fish there. So
they're not struggling for food.
Yeah, it depends on what information in the surveys that you are actually looking at is what decides on if we fish the lake or not.
Up North Bassin guys. What's up, boys? These guys are
Yeah.
always awesome. They show up to a bunch of stuff. Out of your size pinheads, do you have a better one for big crappies than other? Also, do you have a preference on which rod to use for a pinhead minnow? Griff?
I mean, with the pinhead, it all depends on the day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'll
Mhm.
try, like, recently we've been trying with the 8th, but if they didn't bite that, we drop down to the 1/16th, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah,
then
and
we
they still
benefit.
eat that,
Yeah. And then
yeah.
if, you know, we'll drop
That
down
was a bad
again,
day.
but you just got to play with what the fish are doing. Like, it's
Mhm.
all what their attitude is.
But that power noodle,
Yeah,
the
well,
16th
those.
or 8th, you know,
Yeah, well, those
Waldo's
tends
for
to be
the 2 smaller ones, and then the big one use pig's rod.
Yeah.
Will we ever entertain an open water crappie Chronicles? No. I can pretty firmly say that one.
Unless we do the crappie derb.
Could maybe do maybe
different
an
project.
Maybe
yeah,
different
different
project.
project, maybe 1 or 2 special episodes, but it will never turn into like your 10 episodes of open water. We all have a lot of stuff going on other times a year,
Yeah.
and we like to make
And
sure we're
sick of looking at them.
we get pretty sick of it by March.
And there's so many other fish species.
yeah, there's so many other
Yeah.
fish to
So
catch.
many.
Yeah. Come May, the last thing I want to see is a crab.
Fortunately for me, I got to guide that for a month. I'm like, oh, yeah,
Another one.
10,000 crappies. Sick.
Headed to Upper Red, any pointers where to start? Just talk to whichever side your resort's on, just talk to your resort is what I'd say. It seems like they've been showing up everywhere this year. It changes every year up there.
Well,
That's-
people are
that's a
fishing
good
them like
question
crazy,
right
so
there.
there's a lot of information going on.
Reed.
So
My-
obviously
yeah.
the free copies all come from lakes that have white and black crappies in them, correct? How do you know if the lake produces giants just on the DNR site? I wouldn't say the first thing I would say is not all the freaks come from lakes with both.
Yeah. My
That's
longest
a-
one's out of the
Yeah.
lake that has only blacks.
Yeah. So that it's a good like if you see that, it's like this lake's probably good because it probably is.
Yeah.
But it also it can be really stunted. It's a lake by lake thing. Obviously, like the blacks and whites make hybrids, and that's what
Mhm.
can make them very, very big. There's also lakes that like don't necessarily survey that many white crappies, and there's actually white crappies in there.
Mhm.
It kind of changes a lot, but I would say there are lakes that have one or the other, and they go freaks. It's
Yeah.
just a lake by lake thing. So I don't think that's
And there's a lot of lakes in the metro that only have black crappies, and they get really big because there's a lot of weeds. So
yeah.
But
they'll-
also,
they'll
like,
hide in them.
there's lakes where we've done research and been like, I think there's big ones here and gone there, never caught a quality fish. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you
and they're
still
terrible.
have to go there. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, the survey, like you
Give him
said,
a
doesn't
code.
tell you the whole
That was a
story.
good question.
All right, Reed, you win a code. One
Yep.
Boat Network code.
Hit up Griff.
Hit up Griff. We'll get you a code at the end of the deal. So you did win a code.
Mhm.
Along with this, so real quick, other things. So like we said, Thorne Brothers is doing more sales. Right now they have ice suits off for over 30%. We've been wearing the Delta suit this year. It's freaking awesome. It's probably the best suit Clam has made in a long time, to be very honest. It's super comfortable. I would just say, you guys think it fits?
Well, I would say the size I have fits me perfect,
The
but
Delta.
it's a size. You get a size up.
Yeah.
So
it's like a half size small.
So normally
get a
I would
size
wear
up.
like a medium, and I wear a large in it.
Yeah.
But then I got a large rise, and it was really big.
The sizing is just
So-
different between the
so
regular clam
definitely-
suits and Delta ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's more form fitting. It's
Right.
athletic. Like
Different cut.
it's
yeah,
different
it's a
cut.
different cut. So definitely try it on before purchasing it. And I believe Thorne has them in stock still.
Yeah,
And they're
that's what I'm
20%,
saying.
yeah,
they're
they're 20,
30%
they're
off. See right
30%
there?
off.
That's what I was just saying.
That's a really
Sheesh,
good deal.
Yeah, they're really ice suits are super cheap right now.
Yeah.
They
They probably don't have a lot left.
I'm gonna. So here's the thing. I'm gonna keep rolling through comments. We're kind of backlogged right now, so I'm gonna try to catch up with people, and then you guys can ask again if you realize I skipped it. So sorry.
That's a good one.
At what point in time?
Sound it out.
At what point is fishing technology too powerful that it makes finding fish too easy from a sporting perspective? At some point, there has to be a line. I
Still
think
got to make them eat.
Yeah, you still got to make them eat, and
Yeah.
fish constantly they're constantly adapting.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is, I think as a fishermen, if what you're doing is over the line, I would say. And I've never felt that about anything that's out right now.
Yeah.
So
like that's the big thing with it is
none of them catch them for you. I can tell you that
It
much.
does-
We would have filmed so many 18s.
Yeah.
God, so
But
many.
you can't deny that it does make you more efficient.
Yes.
On
Oh,
the water. It helps you
100%.
find fish way faster.
Yeah,
No
it's
doubt.
an extremely effective tool at increasing your efficiency. But at the same time, we have been using it now for many, many years, and we've looked at a lot of fish on it, and there have been there's been 100 times more fish that we've seen on it and have not been able to get them to eat than the ones that we've actually caught and shown you on film.
Plus, there's a ton of people that have live and have no idea what they're doing with it. Like
Yeah,
you watch
also
them and
very
they're
true.
just like,
Very true.
yeah, you're like, what are you doing?
Or
Like,
they just
not-
sit in a permanent
Yeah,
house and
oh,
stare
just
at
drop
fish
this
they
down.
didn't
There's
eat.
3 of them. What?
Yeah,
Okay,
some people just like watching fish with it.
Yeah,
I think that's another
yeah.
thing. There's a handful of really good questions here in a row. I don't have forward facing or a wheeler and sled and won't anytime soon. That's cool. That was us in season 1 and 2. Given that I'm going to fish a smaller area, is there anything specific I should target over other features? So I would say this year lakes have not been pressured nearly as much. So like your very prototypical spots, there's big school of fish right now.
Yeah.
Like
Inside turn.
turn, edge of a basin, weed line, like very prototypical stuff. They are on it right now because they have not been getting pressured.
Our number one feature that we like to fish are those inside turns, though.
Yes.
If you have a deeper water basin and a flat inside turn that leads up to shallow water, start there. That will be probably your highest percentage spot.
I think it's called the Pinhead minnow. Is that all of your go-to bait? If not, what other bait is close second for the Mississippi River? I'll let all these guys say their favorite baits in a sec. The one thing I would say is from filming a bunch of stuff on the rivers, I think a Pinhead actually might be one of our least favorite baits. It seems like they do not eat it well on the river because it's a vertical presentation. So, and they're so shad based. So Griff, what are you looking for?
Yeah, on the river, it's been, like you said, it's been a drop kick and some kind of, white shad imitation, but a pinhead on a lake is going to be my go-to just because you can get down there fast, you can fish it fast, and kind of know their attitude within a couple minutes of using it.
Mine would be a 5mm drop XL, the glow white one. It kind of almost looks like it has a little yellow tint to it. And then a Jamie XL in white or glow for the plastic on the river. I like a big bait, pushes a lot of water. Sometimes we've even put a silky on in front of it as well. But just that big 5mm drop XL has such a large hook to it. Your hooking percentage is very good.
I'll say one thing. You guys saw a bait that's blurred out in an episode, and that'll solve a lot of your issues next year.
Yeah, so. we've been dabbling with some stuff.
So there's something that'll be out next year that'll solve a lot of those bait issues on the river.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
But yeah, white Mackie on a drop kick is definitely my go-to for the river.
Okay. This is a good one. From our latest Past the BARB podcast, me and Pink talked about, we think the DNR is taking the state record fish out of the book on March 1st. Still don't know if that's true or not. Say it is. Are we planning on catching any new state records? If they actually wipe that crappie record, there will be a very new level of juice shot into this series, I think.
Yeah.
Because,
the only thing is I don't know if we'll all have to have that discussion of what we are going to do with it, because we don't want to expose a lake.
Oh, I'm just going to catch 12-incher, be the first one.
Just time that. So good. Done deal.
March 2nd.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Screenshot.
I held it for one day.
We'll just go catch like a 13 3/4. So it's not really that good, but people.
So I don't know. We'll all have that discussion of if they actually do that.
But we did. I mean, we talked about this on the podcast. So it was like, it'll be interesting to see because the state record is so almost unattainable for so long. It'll be interesting to see how many 18-inch class fish are actually being caught because people are going to be registering them.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just curious to see how many submissions there are in like a very short period of time.
This is one thing I've always wanted to know. Can you, and you might know this, can you weigh in a crappie from a private lake for a state record, or does it have to be a public body of water?
We
So
actually talked about that too. I don't
and
know
we're
that.
unsure. It's
Okay.
unclear right now. I think it can be private, but we're
Okay.
not 100% sure on that.
Well, that'll kind of throw
It's
it off.
Minnesota
Maybe
law,
a little
where
bit.
it's hard to understand.
Yeah.
Andon, are your guys' rods built by Thorne Brothers, or who builds them? Yes, all
Yep.
rods are built by Thorne Brothers.
Handmade.
At Thorne Brothers.
Yep.
At Thorne Brothers, handmade, made there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so
we
that's
designed
why,
all of them.
Yeah, we had complete control over the rods. So we actually even tweaked a couple. Like we tweaked mine from the first year we did the rods to the second year. We made it a little bit shorter. We noticed there was too much backbone, so we took a little bit of the backbone out of it, so it didn't pop hooks as much. Bart's, we put recoil guides on to make it even more sensitive and lighter as well. And then Griff's, we made it completely into a schoolie versus a like a hybrid rod that you could do schoolie or spinning reel on. We went complete schoolie on it. And then Pink's, we actually lengthened Pink's a little bit. We added 4 inches?
Oh yeah, I went to a 36 from
Yeah.
32, I think was the
Yeah.
OG one.
Yeah, and that made it even more parabolic, so it loads when you're using those big baits.
Mhm.
So that's the one thing we love about Thorne Brothers is we have complete control over, the rods. Like if we're noticing something that we want to change for the next season, we're able to do that.
Justin, well, Fad Fishing. I know this is Justin. Are you guys going to divide and conquer next season? We're still doing it right now. So like we said in the last video, we're probably going to be done posting videos the rest of this year. I think I have 5 more videos filmed right now, 4 or 5 maybe, and we're still working on it right now. So yeah, there's a bunch of divide and conquer going on. That was just the beginning of it.
Yeah, we're creeping in the shadows.
Yeah, we're living in the shadows, kind of like Griff right now.
I'm over here.
Yeah, don't tell people.
Quiet down.
But you don't know I'm over here.
Yeah.
Griff's fishing right now.
So a couple questions about this. The Blackfish Gale will be available next Black Friday. Right now they're sold out. So if you want to win one, there will be one at the Break Your PB fundraiser. It'll be an XL. So if you're an XL, you can come win it there.
Just let you know.
Yep. I'm trying to catch up on some comments right now so that we can get to current stuff. They piled up really
Oh
quickly.
wow, you're
Yeah,
barely over halfway.
Well, yeah, we're like almost 30 minutes behind right now. No, my rod will not work for the 1/8 ounce Pinhead. Well, it'll work.
Nah.
You're not gonna have a
your
good
spring
time.
bobber pointing straight
Your
down.
spring bobber will be like this and not working. So, yes, you can fish it on it. You will not have a good time though.
No.
I would definitely recommend Pink's rod for that.
Yeah.
Voight wants to know, scaled or skin fillets taste better?
Depends what you're doing with them. I think the skin on scaled does give it a totally different.
You like to
thing.
do that with largemouth, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially the ones that we killed in the tournament.
Do you guys like Mega Live or Live Scope? I know you guys rock the Mega Live, wanting to get into live game. How's Mega Live for you? The one thing I would say from my feedback of not knowing as much technologically as you do is you can definitely tell sizing on Mega Live like really, really, really good. And that is very helpful for us when we're targeting larger fish. Waldo, if you want to dive.
Species of fish.
And species.
Yeah.
We think.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's all about how familiar you get with your unit. If you use it, I mean, the more you use it, the better you will get with it at depicting size of fish. The live scope definitely has a much greater forward range to it. So you definitely have to drill, I would say probably less holes, maybe 10% less holes with it. But the Mega Live it's a chirp transducer on the inside, so it sends out a broad range of frequencies, and then it's got one big receiving transducer or crystal to it. So you actually get better size depiction up close with the Mega Live. So that's one thing that we really like about it is detail up close. being able to see better separation between fish, to tell if it's one fish or two fish is easier on the Mega Live because of that. But it all depends on how familiar you get with it. That's the biggest thing. If you're not spending a lot of time with either the Mega Live or the Live Scope, you're not going to have a good understanding of the size depiction of fish. And every unit's different. Every transducer is different. So it's all about spending time with your electronics.
Yeah. Like we have 4 different live units, and I would say they all look a little bit different, even on the exact same settings.
Yeah.
Like you need to adjust them to get
And
the right picture.
before I had Mega Live, I had 3 different Live Scope transducers, and it was the exact same thing. I had to tweak each one differently to get it so that I was able to see what I wanted to see.
Right.
Favorite recipe this season? It'll be the same for all of us, so I'll just answer it quick. It was the gyros.
Yep.
Yeah, those
It's
gyros
a favorite
were
recipe ever.
10 out of 10.
Yep, that is my number. That's my number one all time.
That's not even flexing. That's
It's-
just like it was that good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
Griff, do you recommend the PB&J wings at the Rusty Nail in Battle Lake?
Absolutely, those things are amazing.
Those burgers were really
Oh, yeah,
good.
it was all- it was all-
those wings though.
I know. I got to
really
see
good.
them on Snapchat or whatever.
Dude, they're so good.
They were so good.
That's the owner of Barky's told us about him. We would have never got him.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
we went in because our stuff was soaked because it poured all day. So the
Yeah.
owner of the resort let us hang some stuff up in his shed.
Barky's Resort, by the
Barky's
way,
is legit.
10
If
out of
you-
10
yeah.
resort. If you
Yeah.
go up to Ottertail, that's the resort to stay at.
Waiting 4 weeks for the frozen kitchen. Yeah, I know. Pink said it's very delayed right now. He's not happy with Amazon.
Trust me.
Let's
I've
give him a
sent
code. Hopefully, I'll make
strongly
him
Yeah.
happy.
worded emails.
All right, Joe, Justy. I think I
While
don't
you're
know.
waiting,
While you're waiting, you're gonna get a One Boat Network code. So there you go. DM Griff on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll get you a code.
trust me, we're trying to
once
make it
it's
better.
over.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna try to figure this out for the future. Amazon was really good at the beginning.
They're
and
awful now.
awful now. So
Weird, right?
Yeah, crazy how that happened. Can't believe it. We cannot name drop anything we blurred out. You guys will learn about it soon enough.
Yep.
You
You got what? 6 months, 7 months, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be quoted.
Yeah. Right.
What's an
fall.
awesome rod and reel combo for crappies? Usually a lake trout fisherman. Oh boy. Got my
Say
PB
not what
36
you own.
Yeah.
36 and a quarter last week. Want to start working on getting some large crappie. Love your videos. Depends. So if you're a lake trout fisherman, I'm guessing he doesn't use tungsten. He's probably a spoon guy. So
Yeah. I would go with probably my rod, the power noodle.
yeah, Waldo.
It's a good all around.
Yeah, go with
the
Like a
Waldo.
start.
Yeah. So like a what is it, 32, 34-inch power noodle, somewhere in that range.
Yep. It's a 32-inch power noodle.
But like
and-
in that like
Yeah,
I mean,
32 to 34-inch power noodle would be a good one to start with. You will be disappointed. They're not lake trout. Just saying that flat out.
I would just keep doing what
I
you're
just
doing.
keep Laker fishing.
What blanks are our rods? Are they the panfish sweethearts, or did you make your own? Yours are the
Mine's a power noodle.
Griff's is a power noodle.
Yeah, Griff's is a heavily modified power noodle.
Very heavily modified
Like,
power noodle for Griff.
Tip trimmed, short,
Yeah.
spring bobber. Spring bobber's even trimmed and modified. Griff's is like a very specialty rod that we did design, and then mine's just a standard power noodle. And I think your guys's are both the panfish.
They're both built on the same blank, but
Yeah.
they're just substantially different in length and in taper.
Yeah, because yours are the panfish sweetheart, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Carl, what's up, Carl? Thank you. I have faith in 18 will happen eventually too.
It's coming.
Yeah, we can give Tom Reeds another shout out.
Love that place.
Yeah,
Yep.
love that place. We gave him a shout out in our backwater video, and give him a shout out now.
We've
Yeah.
had some good times there.
Yeah.
One could say.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think.
What was the blurry jig? Gotta wait.
The blurry jig.
Everyone wants to know about the blurry jig.
All
I
gotta know
can't
is
tell
it
you
ca-
about
it
the blurry,
catches
but
them.
Joe, I will tell you, you did win a One Boat Network code.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're trying to find some stuff here. If you're going to a new lake with a great survey, starting shallow or deep water, it really depends what the lake looks like.
Mhm.
To
We
be
don't
honest.
fish super deep, so we're not.
Yeah,
gonna
we
go
don't
to the
fit.
middle
We
of the
don't
basin,
fish
so-
more than like 20 feet, and
Yeah.
typically it's like
Yeah.
16 to 10.
Yeah, I think we
10
fished
to
like
16.
22 feet was our deepest this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, which is
and that was me and Griff.
that's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
You guys weren't even there.
Mm-mm.
I would say a good starting point is 12 to 16 feet. Start
Yeah.
there. So it doesn't really answer your question shallow or deep. It's middle.
There's so
That's-
many more.
That's
like,
the answer.
We
The
need to
answer is
know.
middle.
Like the majority of the time, that's where like if we just walk out
Yeah.
there, we're like going to a spot that's probably about that deep and
Yeah.
just starting to look around.
even on lakes, like let's say Green Lake for Spicer and for general, like
I love
that's a
this guy.
super deep lake,
Mhm.
and there's crappies out and suspended over 40 foot, but we still catch crappies in 12 foot out there too.
They don't. Griffin Waldo don't know about this. This was on the podcast. We have not hooked up with the guy who's taping fish to cash machines in Utah.
However, the wheels are turning.
However, the wheels are turning. We're trying to get a hold of him. We got to figure it out. I think he's under 18, so I don't know if we can get him on the podcast, but we're gonna try to do it. So I don't know.
So
it's
he would
it's
be
a
out-
weird thing.
He'd be outing
he was duct taping fish to ATMs and to cop cars. Okay.
Oh,
The cop
So
cars was a bad idea.
That was I mean,
well, that just gets the wrong attention right
Yeah.
there.
It's a super funny
no one should do
Instagram.
this
If you
anyway.
want to go see it, I do not recommend doing this. You should not do this. However, if you have a good sense of humor and you want a little bit of a laugh,
Fish Bandit 84. Just throwing it out there.
yeah,
That's the greatest Instagram name ever.
dude, we'll watch it afterwards. You're gonna laugh. Go
All
watch
right.
it right now.
Okay.
Shout out Fish Bandit. What's up? dude?
Yeah, what's up, man? Hopefully you're here.
Have you been messaging him?
Sobe has.
Oh my god.
Here's a good one for Waldo. Waldo, how have you guys decided which places to research in past seasons? So I think a good one's like when we go to Otter Tail or Lakes Country or the Golden Triangle. Like we've done a bunch of northern stuff. Like kind of how do you dive into the research?
I literally start on the north side of the county and just keep working my way down. I try not to leave any stone unturned, and that's even looking at old surveys on lakes too. So I will just dedicate days to doing it, and it takes a lot of time and it's very time consuming, but it has really paid off for us on some lakes for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So and I've been doing this for a really long time too, of just researching lakes. So I've just compiled lists over those years. And so I'll check back in on lakes that had a good survey maybe 15 or 20 years ago to see if they have been surveyed recently. And sometimes they actually
don't know. I
have
haven't
been.
been-
And then I'll update
Which
my
might
list.
just
And I make spreadsheets of everything too.
Yeah, if you've seen our group text, it's
Yeah.
It's rough.
honestly ridiculous.
If you miss a
sometimes.
couple days, you missed a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, you miss an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you miss the wrong hour, you get back to your
Oh.
phone. You're like, oh no. Yeah, we tied directly to our lure. We take the snaps off the Tika flash, pinheads, all of them.
Yeah. Unless we're like really trying to figure out what they're doing, then we'll do that.
I
But
wouldn't even say
typically-
that. I take them all
Yeah,
off.
my-
right
Typically,
away.
we just
Get out there.
I
typically
think
we
you're-
just tie directly to.
I would say
you
I'm
get better action out of the bait.
way better.
Yeah.
Griff, have you caught many whites out of Minnetonka? I got a couple weeks ago. I have only seen a few.
Yeah, I mean, I've caught a lot of them out there, but nothing like you don't go and like in a day.
Specifically
Yeah,
target.
you're not targeting them. You're not probably catching more than 10 in a day on a good day.
Yeah.
I think it's just a low density population.
It really depends on what part of the lake you're in. Too.
Well, and it seems like white crappies, the more and more a lake gets, built up where you get docks and stuff like that, it seems like their population like typically goes down. If you think like Medicine Lake back in the day,
yeah.
giant white crappies in there and tons of them. The more it got built up, the more that lake's population of white crappies dropped and the black crappies exploded.
Yeah.
And so it just seems to kind of be a trend. The more and more you build up on a lake, like I don't know if it's messing with their spawning habitat or it just doesn't work with them. Like maybe
That's probably
There's
what
the
it
different
is.
size in the
fish. I mean,
water.
there's
Yeah.
no debate. Like it's definitely a subspecies of crappie that like they act different. They
Yeah.
do different.
They even
stuff.
react to your lure differently.
yeah,
Oh,
they,
too.
they're like a
100%.
pike.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're like, woo,
Yeah.
and then they fight like a pike.
Yeah.
Oh boy, where? Yes, we only have 2 custom pinhead colors. I don't know how many are left. There's not many.
I can look.
Speedy to drive. Oh yeah. Neil won the giveaway on my Instagram page. Glad you got the rod. Happy to hear it. Glad it showed up. Reverse Wonder Ped or Flash Minnow. Depends what kind of lake you're fishing, to be honest. We've seen that Flash like Reverse Wonder Bread, everyone bought it and it's catching fish. I've seen more pictures of a Flash Minnow inhaled.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
Straight good.
Yeah.
Get them both, eh?
Let's give Adam
Yeah, Cunningham.
Yeah, let's give him a.
Okay, Adam Cunningham, you get a One Boat Network code. Best practices to break down big lakes, mainly to beat Mike Ryman. All right, yeah, we'll help.
It'll give you a tiny bit of help.
Yeah, we'll help.
Yeah.
Cover a lot of water.
Yeah.
Like that. So the biggest thing I would say, and we'll all chime in here, I think, is so the bigger the lake you get to, instead of making 100-foot moves, you want to make 100-yard moves, like big jumps. You want big jumps because you're on big pieces of structure. So I would say that's a big thing. Griff, breaking down a big lake.
I mean, yeah, you hit it on the head right there. But I mean, that One Boat Network will help you get your spots picked out.
Yeah.
Move. I mean, that's really all you can do.
And then to since you're doing Clayton's tournament and UPLs, it's all about averages, to be honest with you, with those lakes, making note of spots. And then what I like to do, and this is what Griff and I did when we were fishing UPLs, is on my waypoint, I would actually label the waypoint, the average weight of the fish, so that I knew where my highest averages were before actually fishing the spots tournament day. So I would start on my best average spot. Might not be the most fish, might not have the biggest fish, but that's the averages theoretically in long run will actually give you a better score tournament day. And then once you get a good average down, that's when you go for your kickers.
This is actually a really good question. Sorry, Griff, I'm going to give this guy a code because I think this is a really good question.
Sounds good. One
yeah.
less I got to give away.
Okay. Yeah. MS, you get a One Boat Network code for this question. DM Griff on Facebook or Instagram. We'll get you a code for the One Boat Network app. But his question is a serious question. Where's the number coming from by all YouTubers saying put 12 inches and bigger back? Doesn't that depend on the lake? More specifically, the recommendations from the DNR. This is a very good question. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a great answer for where the 12 necessarily came from. Maybe you do, but I would say
I'll answer the 12 question.
I was going to say, I think for me, that's where you notice crappies get big. Like they start getting bigger from 12 to 13, 13 to 14. Like that's where they start making dramatic increases, I would say. And you can tell, especially age, that's probably where they're finally reaching like that 5 to 7 years. They're getting, a bit older. Their genetics are really good. They've already grown to 12 because a lot of fish will get stunted and they'll stop at like 7 to 10. So 12 is showing that they have the capabilities of growing bigger. Yeah. So, kind of once they get over that, you want to put them back because there's a common argument from people of, well, when they get older, they don't reproduce as well. Yes, maybe they don't, but what they reproduce has really good genetics. So I'd way rather have them reproducing maybe at a 50% rate of a different one, but it's really good genetics, than a 10-incher that has awful genetics and just reproduces every single year bad genetics. So,
plus your 13 to 15-inch crappies, those are really good at protecting the nests. They've gone through multiple spawn cycles as well, so they're very mature fish at this point. They have it a lot more figured out than a lot of the 12-inch and under fish do. Plus, the amount of eggs that they carry is significantly higher on a 14-inch fish than it is going to be on a 10-inch fish. So that's another big thing that we look into as well. But
yeah, and if you look at fish populations as a structure, like crappies specifically, once they reach 12 inches, that's when you start seeing a dramatic decline in the number of fish in each size class going up from that. So that 12-inch category is kind of like the breaking point. So above that, you see a huge decline in just like the overall fish population. So 12 inches and under is basically the bulk of the fish population. So by harvesting fish in that section, you're actually doing the least impact to a fish population. And that's just crappies as a species, not like on a lake to lake basis. I mean, yes, there are lakes that have way less 12-inch and bigger fish, but in a lot of large, medium to large lakes, that's how the size structure sets up, that there is like a huge bulk of the population is that 7 to 12-inch, and then substantially less above that. So
we have an update on our Pinheads, what's in stock. The Flash Minnow is available in the 1/32 ounce and the 1/8 ounce sizes still.
And I know there's not very many.
There's
I was at Thorne the
yeah,
other
there's
day.
not
There's
many
not
left.
very many left.
And then the reverse Wonder Bread is only available in 1/8 ounce, and there is also not very many of those. And those are only available at Thorne Brothers. So definitely check them out.
What I will also say that you can get in Thorne Brothers, I started putting this down below. By far the number one most common question we get every single year filming the Crappie Chronicles is, what reel is that? And it's the Clam Spooler Elite. Right now, Clam Spooler Elites are 20% off at Thorne Brothers. You can save $10 on them. So yeah, go grab one right now. They are on sale along with a bunch of other stuff at Thorne Brothers. So now we will start combing through questions again. Once again, remember, you comment, you can win a One Boat Network app code, and we're going to keep giving them out to people who have good questions. I'm going to try to get a little more caught up, and then we'll be good. Do we use an underwater cameras at all while scouting? A little bit. It's mainly around weeds, so that would be the best way to say that. They are sweet,
though.
They are
like
sweet.
them. We just don't use them a ton.
Yeah, and then for the off chance we're not catching fish, it's good for species identification as well, to make sure you're fishing the right fish. Because there was a lake Bart and I fished 2 years ago where we thought they were crappies, turned out to be all drum.
Yeah, they were drum.
Yeah. I like to forget about
however
that.
You can catch drum, and they're very fun.
Yeah, they are very
once you
fun.
learn what they look like on live, you can mutilate them.
Yeah. Will there be another season of Chasing Ghosts ever? Yes, if I can convince Cody. So bug hunter.
That's a good one.
Do you think live imaging sends frequency to fish in shallow water? I've fished South Dakota in 3 feet, and the crappies refuse to come under me.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of I've seen it affect them, but then we just did a river deal where
they didn't care.
And I had it 2 feet from them. So it all depends. Like,
but those
we've
fish
seen.
haven't seen.
I would say true. I would say there's a 30-foot. Like, you notice when they're coming towards you, they'll get to 30 feet, and all of a sudden you can tell something changes.
It depends on fishing pressure, and just the fish themselves. Because we've seen us walking.
Switch to a Vex, and he hammered it.
Love to see it.
Yeah,
love to see
low
it.
power mode's huge.
Well,
it's very powerful.
You
We
got to
preach
remember
it a
the
lot.
live forward sonar's hitting them in the lateral line. Too.
Yeah, and it's significantly,
back.
it's a balance of power output and frequency, and the frequency is so high on the forward facing that they can feel it.
Well, we see that in deep water too, not just shallow. What?
Waldo, my K-drill blades are dull. Can I drop them off at your house to sharpen?
Nope, bring them
we're
back.
gonna
Otherwise,
post the
you'll never see
address
them
here.
again.
We'll post his address next.
You'll never see him again.
Okay, this is actually a great question because I made this post about it. So Griff will talk about this. But how do you do or utilize the down jig cadence? So this has been a huge thing for the Crappie
He
Chronicles.
taught all of us this technique.
Griff taught us this all, so he can talk about it. Griff, what is a down jig?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's hard to do without showing somebody. You know what I mean?
Pretend.
With the rod.
Just pretend.
I mean,
Go get him a rod, Waldo.
you know what I mean? Like, you jig up, obviously, but like,
I am moving.
if you get a fish that won't raise up after your bait, and like he literally just sits there, what I do is I work the bait super slow while jigging it, but I go down, and then you want to like just work it in front of their face, and then you kind of read their reaction from there, because sometimes they want you to now move it away from them a little bit because you dropped it right in their face. But sometimes, like with that last episode, you had to just leave it in front of their face and just kind of sit there and shake it. And it's like you make them make a decision.
But
because
it's not just dropping it into their face.
Yeah, not
It's
100
like,
miles
it's
an hour.
So
it's
slow.
It's subtle,
It's
slowly
so slow.
down jigging. Basically, the reverse of when you take it away from them. Now you're just bringing it to them.
Yeah.
And it's just something they haven't seen, because now If the bait's above them 2 feet, they have time to make a decision. I can think about what's going on. Do I want that bait? Blah, 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 blah. When you drop it in front of their face, now they have to make a decision. And I believe with like those bigger fish, like if you put them on the spot, they're kind of like, I don't know what to do. Okay, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
You know, like more of like, you just get them in that mode of, I don't know what to do. I'm going to eat this thing. Why is it trying to swim in my mouth?
Curiosity.
Yeah, I would say along with that, like in the last episode, if you guys watch it back, like a lot of those big fish ate on a down jig. And what you'll see is like a lot of those really big fish, they get really big because they're very, very intelligent. And yes, they wanted to eat that day, but they were also, we caught 10% of the fish we marked probably.
We got 2% of the fish that actually came up to our jig.
Yeah, they were not like very committal to eating because they're all really big and smart. But the ones that you could get, so like Griff said, you get them to raise up, so you're bringing the bait away from them. But if you can tell they're not closing that distance and you're not moving very fast, so you got them interested, right? They're really big. You can tell that on your Vexilar. When you slowly bring that back down to them and bring it in their face, they're intrigued. They just they're smart. They're not going to chase up. Like there's not a lot of really big crappies you've caught that close that distance and fire up and crush.
We caught one that day, and it was the one that ate my Tika.
Yeah, that was the biggest one, but he dropped a Tika minnow on it, which is like a really aggressive bait.
Yeah, and it's either going to eat it or it's not.
Yeah, so it's a tungsten. So when you get them to tip up and they start coming up, but they're not closing the distance, well, you're giving them an opportunity to say no now. So like Griff said, with that down jig, you slowly work it down in front of their face, and like you get it right in front of them and said, bite it or leave. Yeah. And a lot of times you get them to just kind of, and then just snap it. So yeah, that's a down jig. It takes a lot of time to get decent at it though. Yeah, so what we will say too, so a little secret for all the live stream guests, if you guys want to share this everywhere too, we got a bunch of people on now, actually more than when we started. So that's exciting. But, we are having a Crappie Chronicles merch sale just for our live stream friends. We're keeping this quiet, so don't tell anybody. But if you use the code LIVESTREAM20, you get 20% off any of our merch while supplies last. It is going pretty quickly. We don't have very much left. So if you want any, go grab it now.
And if it doesn't work, email Bart.
Yep, you can do that. All right. Okay, now we're starting to finally catch up on questions. Now we're doing it. All right, so if we haven't answered your question, you start loading them in now. We'll be there. Do I fish in the summer? Bass, not crappies. How about you, Pink?
Yeah, I fish all different species of fish in the summer, and
you fish just about everything.
Yeah,
in the
besides
summer.
crappies.
Besides crappies.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. A lot of muskie fishing, a lot of bass fishing. I don't know. I try to get over to Lake Michigan a bit, and salmon and trout. And all kind. Yeah,
I'm primarily bass, like Bart. I dabble in a little bit of walleye fishing as well, and then Griff, you're crappies, bass, just about everything.
Yeah, it depends on time of the year with me. Just because
multi-species, would you say?
Yeah, there we go. He likes to dabble.
This is a good comment, Griff. Just wanted to say the video on Upper Red was very informative, and I'm glad you guys are sharing your knowledge in conservation. Thank you. That's a nice comment. We like you.
I wish they were all positive on that video. Huh?
Yeah. I wish it was all like that, not the locals up there being like, you're ruining the lake. And it's literally the most traveled to lake in the United States.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was fun. Have you guys ever fished boundary waters or border waters? What types of lakes stand out to you when looking for crappies? How do you examine satellite imagery? 3 questions in there, actually. Completely different questions. I thought when I dove in, it was going to be a 3-part of one question, and they're just 3 different questions.
All over.
So, no, we have not done boundary waters or border waters other than the river.
Yep.
1 down. What types of lakes stand out to you guys when looking for crappies? Waldo, you got anything for that?
Ones with big ones. It's a good one.
Genetically superior lakes.
Yeah, just lakes that have a high population of them, but a balanced population where there's a lot of eater size fish and big ones as well. It just shows for a healthy fishery.
How do you examine lakes on satellite imagery? We don't really use satellite imagery much other than
we actually started using it more this year with the One Boat Network app because you can turn off all the depth shadings.
True. Yeah, for weeds.
Yeah, and be able to see weeds and structure.
And we talk about that in the Expose the Ice series. So if you guys want to go watch those, there's a good breakdowns of everything. My boy Rylan loves his new pink Chronicle rod and has been smoking crappies with it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
very underrated walleye rod as well.
Super good, dude.
Super good walleye rod. I mean, we were using it on Mille Lacs,
Crushing them.
crushing them.
Super fun to fight them on too.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
probably
you
gonna-
get like a 20-incher on that thing,
Oh.
and you're in for a
But
fun
you're
fight.
not over gun or under gun.
No.
Like it's definitely a
Yeah.
good rod. Yeah. Sick.
Do you ever put a plastic or silky on a pinhead?
Never tried it.
Mm-mm.
Straight up.
Yes, it does hold 18-inch crappies. I would think we would have got one by now too, you know.
Yeah. Weird.
Waldo, have you tried the loyalty roast?
I'll have to try that one. Right now, I have been on the vanilla or AK. I switch between the two. Vanilla I really like, but that AK is just so good. I think that's one of your favorites too.
Yeah,
The AK is really good, but I'll have to try that one.
We do not use the snaps on pinheads or Tika flashes. We take them off.
Yep.
Not sure exactly, Waldo, but that tank you got in the last episode on the Tika minnow, but it popped off.
Mhm.
Wow, what color was that?
That was the glow purple tiger. That's one of my. I have two favorite colors in the Tika minnows, and they're both kind of weird. One is that glow purple tiger, and then the other one is the bullfrog color.
Ooh.
I like both of those a lot. The green and white, and then the purple and white both seem to really get it done.
This is a good insight from Lawrence on this. So for the people that were asking about the 12-inch mark, 12-inch mark is more likely the bigger the chance it's a female, kind of like a 20-inch walleye, and bigger, most likely female.
Yeah,
So,
same thing with bass too. A lot of the biggest fish are typically females.
So you want to put the bigger ones back.
Yep.
Captain Bill checking in. Pass a Barb co.
Saw that.
If you guys didn't know, Pink and I have a podcast called Pass a Barb. Griff and Waldo hop on occasionally. It's very funny, fun time. So
It
go
is very
subscribe.
funny.
Send us the DNR surveys when you get to Argentina there, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So our co-host is moving to Argentina to guide for the
Red
next
stag
two
shooting.
months.
Couple months.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. What are the chances any of your fans here get a chance to fish with you guys and be in one of your episodes?
Weird.
So conveniently, we have an opportunity for you.
Opportunity.
Yeah, so opportunity for you. I need to get rid of this so that we can show it off. All right, so hang with me. We do have an opportunity for you. So we got the Break Your PB St. Jude fundraiser coming up. It's going to be at Giesenbroy Beer Co. in New Prague, Minnesota. First 50 people who come and give the suggested donation of $20 will get a limited edition pint glass. There we go. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Stumbled there. Along with that,
Got him.
we will have grand prizes, and one of the grand prizes is going to be the Crappie Chronicle experience. You're going to be able to fish with 3 people, or bring 2 of your friends. So 3 people. We'll take you guys out. We're going to go chase giant crappies. Pink's going to cook on the ice. Going to do the whole deal. Along with that, there's going to be a bunch of other prizes as well. Thousands of dollars of tackle, electronics, and ice houses. So come show up, buy some raffle tickets. We're going to raise a bunch of money and have some beers, have a good time. So we'll see you guys all there. Now back to the comments. So we got that one answered. Okay, this is a good question. Would you say the bigger crappies usually are in bigger schools in the basin or scattered on weed edges? Griff. Tate Blumkiss wants to know.
Typically the like 14 plus, they're even 13 plus, seem to be in smaller schools. They'll be around those big huge schools of, you know, your 10 to 12 inches, but they're typically not in them. Sometimes we'll see them where they actually use those schools to kind of hide, but typically you'll see wolf packs of 5 to 10, and then every once in a while
It's
you
like
see
they
what
do.
Bart and Waldo seen where they you got a whole
That
crop
was an
load of them.
abnormality.
That was just
I will say what Waldo and I saw that day that you guys saw in the last video was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, it was like one school of all.
Until
day
Griff
ones.
and I went out a week later and we saw more on a different lake. So there's
Yeah.
a teaser for next year.
Yeah, I would say
Griff and I had a great time.
Griff hit it head on. Like a lot of times if there's a big school of fish, you'll see those large crappies like on the edges of them or even underneath. We had that happen too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in a coming video as well.
Yeah.
The biggest ones were on the bottom. So we had to drop through 7 inches. It was really annoying.
Yeah, it was very annoying. Getting the bait to them was the problem on that one.
Yeah, it was tough.
So, but if you time it right, you hit a lake when it's absolutely the perfect conditions, you'll have a chance at seeing what Bart and I saw where they're all schooled in one school, but that's pretty rare. Typically we're weeding through fish.
This is good. This is a good way of trying to figure out where that video was filmed. I like the creativity. When and where was your most epic day fishing? Well, it happened to be about 3 weeks ago. Where? Within 60 miles of Minneapolis.
Yep.
There you go.
We've had some epic days though.
We have had some very epic days.
We've had
some stuff
even
in
in
Maine.
Ottertail.
Some stuff in Maine.
Oh,
was
some of the stuff in
ridiculous.
Maine was just like incredible.
Our first day in the UP was super fun too.
First day in the UP was really good.
Low key, super fun day.
We had a couple days in Ottertail season 2 that were mental as well.
Dude, that end of the Golden Triangle though. That was like 30.
Hype,
that was 30 minutes of mental. Well, that was because we'd spent a decent amount of time out there, and we're like, man, it's just all solos. And then you turned and went, whoa,
my god,
they're not all solos. Holy cow! Favorite rods out of the Crappie Chronicle series. So,
they're all good.
Yeah, I think
we use all of them.
So here's the thing.
many
Everybody
different-
say one, and it can't be yours.
I'd say Waldo's. Oh, just because I can use it for the pinhead and the grab jig.
For me, I would probably say Pinks, because Pinks is just so much fun to fight big fish on, and it doesn't even matter what the species is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Griff's because it's really fun. I never really schoolie fished before we made that rod, and over the time now doing it, it's just really fun catching them that way. It's just a really good time, and you catch way more fish.
Yeah.
You really do.
I've gotten addicted to fighting fish on Griff's rod.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, because it's a little more, I don't know, involved. Like you got to get a little bit good at like running the schoolie reel. And, like,
it's a 1-to-1.
Well,
So
like the drag sucks, so it's like that. Like
well, your hands, you're drag.
Yeah, you're the drag.
So it's like
you're the drag.
Yeah, it's a little more technical fishing style, which I kind of like. So.
Yeah.
How far up the column away from fish do you start the down jig process, Griff?
Usually I mean, I'll start usually 2 to 3 feet, but you know, usually I'm trying to get them to come up first, and then I'll be like, all right, I got to go to that one. So, I mean, it kind of varies on, you know, what you're doing, like, and where your jig is when you realize
The biggest
that
thing
he's
is
not
doing
coming.
it slow.
Yes.
Don't open your bail.
Yeah, don't just fire it in their face. That's probably the number one thing you shouldn't do to a crappie. It literally turns them like to, I'm not biting that. What
I
was
have
that?
not seen too many fish.
Well, how many bugs or minnows like try to swim into their mouth? It just doesn't happen. So they're like, what's going on here?
Yeah. It's like someone pokes you in the head. You're not going to like it.
Do you use horizontal presentation versus vertical? It depends on the day. I think we all normally will have on a tungsten jig, like a drop kick with a plastic to be horizontal, or like a Tika minnow, and then a pinhead. And you just see, is it a vertical or a horizontal day? And God, fish can be really picky. We've seen that this year. The bites are outrageous, but it seems like the fish are really picky. More picky than usual from what I've seen. Pinhead, spinning reel, or clam spooler elite? Both. It just depends how deep you're fishing. So if you're fishing in 15 feet or less a lot, spooler elite. But if you're fishing in like 15 to 25,
and how fast they're moving.
Yeah, and how fast they're moving.
If they're moving spinning reel.
Yeah.
Because you can just.
That's why I started using more spinning reels this year, was because on fish that were moving fast or getting in front of fish.
Right.
Yeah.
You can just fire it down there.
Yeah, it's way quicker.
Do you guys only answer questions from people who donate? No. We've only had one person donate something to the stream today. That's the first time ever, actually.
Yeah.
So if you want to donate, though, come to the St. Jude fundraiser. Great. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, we'll answer whoever's questions. As long as they're nice. We don't like mean people. Have you noticed you've caught bigger fish on tungstens or spoons? I think it depends on the lake.
Yeah.
Depends on the day.
We've caught them on both. I mean, big ones on both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Been a Navionics guy, but looking at trying the One Boat Network app. Does it work well or better with the Live and a Lake Master chip installed in it? Can be linked to work together.
I would almost say it's better on the app because you get the entire country.
Well, let's give him a code, then he can find
Yeah,
out.
Matt,
Yeah.
you can find out. We'll give you a
Boom.
code. There we go. That was
Yep.
easy. I got
How
that.
was
one.
that?
I mean, I was just
How's
looking
that?
at Cascade in Idaho today
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the same map that now I am looking at Mille Lacs.
Yeah, so you don't need all these different chips
Yeah.
to view all
Yeah.
of
You can just do it on your phone and decide
Like,
if you want to get a Lake Master chip for
here's-
your unit.
I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but that's 3 Mile Reef on Mille Lacs. The detail is absolutely incredible. And we were just on Mille Lacs. We
used it there.
we used the One
Crushed
Boat
fish.
Network app and crushed fish on a spot that none of
We'd
us had
never been to.
Yeah, we had never walleye fished it through the ice before. So it's been a really useful tool for us.
So message Griff. Get
Yeah,
the code.
message
Yeah,
Griff.
message Griff and get the code. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
finish that. Yeah, message Griff, get the code. We'll give you a code. You'll get a free 1-year subscription to the app.
Mhm.
What do we all use for rod lockers? Me and Pink bought
Great question.
$30 gun cases at Cabela's 3 years ago.
Yep, just some cheap
Yeah.
single shotgun cases. or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I think we all have gun cases now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Griff upgraded from a bucket.
Yeah.
What do you think of it, Griff?
I like it.
Yeah.
I did get that Flambeau one.
Yeah.
Second one.
The
That's-
red with the red latches.
No.
Good.
No, it's different. It's
Good.
like this.
I was gonna say if you got the one with the
There's
red
not
latches,
a
you're
lot
not
of
gonna like
there's
it.
not a lot of good rod cases out
No.
there, and
No.
even the ones we have aren't that good. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah, mine was $16 at Fleet Farm.
yeah,
I
most
think-
yeah,
yeah,
a
mine
cheap
was-
gun case is probably your best bet because
Yeah.
it's inexpensive and it works as good as the expensive ones that aren't that good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they're usually too big.
that's what
Yeah.
we're all using are those.
and they're really lightweight. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's thin plastic. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we're all using. I think I just have a slightly larger one than what you guys are
Yeah,
running.
But you
and
can
that's
fit a
it.
ton of rods in.
Yeah, you
even
can
the
fit a
small
lot.
ones.
lot
Yeah.
of, you need
Wow.
enough.
Yeah.
You can fit enough. Tad, we're running 8-inch augers to get live down a hole.
Yep.
Yeah, you need an 8-inch for Mega Live.
You ladies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's up, Tad? Yes, Jameson, he could outfish you blindfolded. Are you
You can probably outfish it without a rod.
when you find lakes with crappies in that upper caliber of 15 plus, is there something you're noticing in those lakes that you tend to replicate or try to find in other lakes that most don't notice?
Inside turn thing has been a very common denominator. for
Inside
us.
turns the biggest thing. The one thing I will say about the big fish lakes is they are all different. Like a
Yeah.
lot of those fish don't act the same. They may like set up the same and that like go to the same areas, but like they bite on different days. They like different baits. Like that's the one thing. There's not like I wouldn't say, I think a lot of people ask if like we have a cheat code for this, and it's just a ton of time on the water.
Yeah.
I don't think it's stuff people aren't noticing. I think it's just like
Yeah.
we've covered so much water on the lake that we've seen so many things
Yeah.
versus like just trying 3 or 4 spots and being like, oh no.
Yeah. We just pick one end and start drilling. And we vary depth ranges.
We
like,
check everything
we-
that could potentially be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even there's sometimes where we go back and double check things like
Yeah.
where we saw signs of life and then kept moving to find better signs of life. And then we go back to that area and catch them. So
And
like,
something we don't show a lot is when we're on a lake and it sucks and we're like not finding stuff, like how like crazy of an idea we're willing to try later
Yeah.
in the day.
yeah.
Like
Right.
something that in the morning you'd be like, that's dumb. Like
Yeah.
5 hours in, we're like, let's try it.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea now. Are the bigger crappies typically in weeds or basin fish?
Depends on the lake.
Depends. I will say we've seen some very big fish in the middle of the basin, but typically they're not in the middle of the basin.
No, they're on the edges.
They're on the edges.
Yeah.
There is exceptions to every rule, so don't take that like perfectly, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, if you just drive out to the middle of a basin, that's not where the biggest ones are normally. You will find a ton of 7 to 8 inches though.
Mhm.
Just wanted to thank you guys for tips and the entertainment the past few weeks. I've put the knowledge to use catching some nice river crappies, even though it's been hard with the lack of ice. Nice. Awesome to hear, Dalton.
Heck yeah.
Mhm.
Coy, will there finally be an episode in Wisconsin next year? I know Pink leaked Eau Claire possibly. I don't know when he said that. When did you say Eau Claire?
Oh, we're leaking stuff now.
I
Huh?
didn't say nothing about Eau Claire.
Coy's
That
throwing
is-
you under the bus right
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't say Eau Claire.
I see something that
You out
says
here grabbing
Eau
them
Claire.
things?
I see Eau Claire.
Oh, Claire.
I never
on the
said
ground.
that.
Well,
Coy,
it's
you
been
and-
said.
Coy, you and Pink are beefing.
Yeah.
That's
We
what it
got
seems.
beef. We got beef, Coy.
There's been
Apparently, it's
so
located in Eau Claire.
so many
All right, you and Eau
questions
Claire?
about Wisconsin.
I'm coming right. I'm
So
coming.
many questions about Wisconsin. If you guys could grow bigger crappies, that would be really helpful for our series. Because a lot of people are like, "Come to Wisconsin." We're like, "Well, but they're bigger here."
And
But yeah, I don't
areas
know,
where we're not
maybe.
going to kill them too. I don't want to fish. a
Yeah,
40 foot.
that is the other thing. A lot of the Wisconsin lakes, like, they're really deep, man, and
Yeah.
we don't want to film killing fish. I know we just did a great job filming a barotrauma video where fish went down, 40 feet quickly, but I don't want to be doing that until it's proven that it'll be okay. So, yeah. Have you guys ran into fans of the show out on the ice? There is 2 human beings on this world that ran into Waldo and I during that day,
Yeah.
and they probably will never say a word.
Yeah.
But we
So,
do it all the time.
We do run into people all the time, but yeah, there were 2 people. There were 2 kids actually, or younger guys that rolled out there, watched Waldo and I pummel them,
Mhm.
came over a bit later and
Said hi.
said hi, and they had also caught some big ones. And we kind of looked at each other with a blood oath, kind of like that look in the eye where you're like, we're not saying anything, right?
Yeah.
And we had that same look, and we were like, okay. So
Cool.
whoever you are, I know you're watching potentially right now, you're awesome, because I haven't heard of anyone hearing that you were also out there.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes
And
it's
he had her hat
surprising
on.
where-
and he had her hat on too.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that was
we
just
do
really
run into
cool.
people all the time.
Like
on
I was
the ice.
fishing a pond by my house the other day and ran into a guy out there who was a fan. I literally walked out and like immediately. Crazy.
Yeah. That's
It's
hilarious.
like, I didn't know there were giants in here. He's like, well, there's not. I'm
Like,
just
no,
out
no,
here.
Confirmed. Nah.
Confirmed not.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good one. So everyone thinks you have to have live sonar, forward-facing sonar. Now, how do you find crappies without it? I struggle every time I go out and see guys put live scope down and catch 15 giants. Well, we don't catch at 15, so you must be around some really good guys. But I would say, I don't know, Griff, you could probably answer this one pretty good. Because you won so many tournaments before live
Yeah,
was
you
even a
just
thing.
you gotta like look at your high percentage areas and then just drill them out and move. I mean, it's
Getting good at map study.
yeah, map
It's
study,
huge.
like
Learning
what
curve.
where you
Yeah.
think, get your areas designed, or picked out where you want to go. Just be
No.
prepared, because you don't want to get out there and be like, well, should I go over
Yeah.
there? Like when there's a spot probably right here, you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
want to just be efficient, move, drill as much as you can, and when you land on them, it's a lot more rewarding than just dropping that thing down.
And
the
then
hole,
making
but there
sure
we
you
are.
swing your transducer
Yeah,
with
that
your
can be
Vex
huge.
is also
Yeah.
big, because even with the live, you still have a cone angle this way, so it's hard to tell where they're at laterally. So swinging the transducer can help.
And putting it in a lower frequency
Wider cone
when
angle.
you're searching.
Yeah. And so swinging that transducer, when it kicks out one way, if you see a couple targets off bottom, that'll let you know, okay, they're this direction. So not just dropping it in the hole and being like, oh, they're not here, when you might be right next to them.
Yeah, Octo, a good key is Lake Map. So with that, we will give you a One Boat Network code as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So DM
Message
message Griff. We'll get you a code to the One Boat Network app so you get some better mapping, help
Yep.
you break down water a little bit easier.
either on his Instagram or Facebook.
Yep. Do you guys like lakes or do you guys like the backwaters or rivers more? So here's the interesting thing. I think
That's a tough one.
they both have their place. After
so
season
different.
3, I was so excited to fish rivers again. And then we went to backwaters for like a month, and I was like, man, I'm really sick of this.
Yeah.
I think it just
varies.
changes. It
Yeah,
varies
I
so
love
much. I
backwater
just like
fishing.
catching
Yeah.
fish.
That's just more my style. I just like finding these they're more under the radar spots versus like
Yeah.
a lake where you're hunting down schools of fish or like niche
good
areas, but like on the
Mm-hmm.
river you can find some stuff like where me and Griff fished the other day. No one had fished there the entire winter. Like
Yeah.
we were the first people to drill holes in there, and like those fish are so aggressive, which is
Yeah.
Like on the lakes, we see that
And they
occasionally, but-
maybe see like probably 2 or 3 guys fishing at
but
most
they're
in a
just
year.
the fish are so aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, like I love that.
That is the one nice thing about backwaters. You there's not a lot of coaxing you have to do
No.
on fish.
I think he might want you to answer that too, Griff. He'd asked again later. Do you like the lakes or do you like the backwaters more?
I like both. They're so dynamically different. I mean, like you go to a backwater, you're fishing, like they said, under pressured fish. And then lakes. I mean, it's just totally different, you know. Like, but they're both fun. They both have their time. I will say, I probably lose the interest in backwaters more, just because it's a different grind than lakes. I mean, it's a lot easier to find them in lakes than in the backwaters. Like you're doing a lot of hard work.
True.
And I think after a while you're kind of like, all right, I just want to go out to a lake and be
But
able to
once you
find them.
have a few backwaters that are good,
Yeah, then you're
Oh.
locked in.
Yeah.
Response from Coy.
We'll get to it. You can't skip ahead. This
I
is
know,
like
I'm just
skipping
saying.
ahead in a movie.
You're just saying
Can't
hold
do
on.
I'm
that.
just saying, I notice it.
This is a good question. On the 24th, do you need to be one of the first 50 to be eligible to win? No. Like we will be taking raffle, auction entry, the whole thing until 9. And then once 9 hits, we'll start reeling off winners. We might draw a few of the general raffles earlier for people, but none of the grand prizes or anything like that will be
the
announced
first 50
until
is just
9.
for the cups.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
50 is just for the cups. You get a free beer and some other general raffle tickets. So there you go. The podcast is Past the BARB. It's linked in the description here, so you'll be able to go there.
It is very funny. Very funny. Definitely PG-13 plus for sure.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Some would say unscripted and off the cuff.
Ooh.
That was good.
Ooh, that was really good. I like that.
Yeah, we did. We ran into you a few weeks back on a lake filming. Yeah, that was actually really. Was that a tough day? That was a tough day.
Yeah, we struggled to do.
Yeah, that day, we've caught a lot of them already. Do you guys believe barometric pressure plays a role in fish feedings, Waldo?
Yeah, and it's weird. What we've noticed is the last few years that some lakes like a rising pressure, some lakes like a falling pressure, some lakes like it stable for a really long time. The biggest thing I think with the barometer is paying attention to what it's doing while you're catching them on whatever lake that you're on, because that can be a patternable deal. We've seen it tons and tons of times where we'll go out to a lake and it's really shitty for multiple days in a row, and then all of a sudden they bite really good on a falling pressure, and then we can duplicate that same pattern. So the barometer is a big deal for us. We always are paying attention to it, but just because it's falling doesn't mean it's going to be good on a certain body of water or not.
No, there's certain you need, like some lakes you even need the few days before it to go correctly too, as
Yeah.
dumb as it sounds. This is where, like Pink said in the intro to that video, that some of the things sound weird if we try to explain them to other people, but they make sense to us. It's just you
Yeah.
gain a lot of confidence in certain patterns. So
Yeah.
that's it. But yeah, barometric pressure plays a very big role. Like if you
Yeah.
pay attention to barometric pressure and how fish are moving, you will notice fish moving
Or
differently.
if you have a really good day on the ice,
Look at
go
what was
back
going
and
on.
Look at, because you can fit like those graphs you can find. So like
Yeah.
if you crushed them one day, go back and look at what the pressure was doing when you caught them, and I would say you'll probably find some of those patterns pretty quick.
Yeah.
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 I have been to Laos. Although, have you been to Laos? In New Prague?
No, I haven't.
What?
Laos.
I'm not a donut guy.
Dude,
I'm not
you
a
gotta.
bakery guy.
You gotta go if you're gonna be a local. You gotta go. That's where all the old people go.
There you have it.
It's so good. You can get
sure-
a donut for
I'm
like
sure
2
Arv's been
quarters and
there.
a nickel.
Shit, I'm going.
2 quarters.
I'm sure ours.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. I used to go to recorders all the time when I was a kid after school.
What do you do?
Are you guys looking at hitting the states you didn't go to this year, next season? Easy answer for that is yes, but obviously we are gonna have to evaluate everything. I know we want to.
Yeah.
We
Obviously,
changed our plans so much, so
yeah, we changed our
Yeah.
plans so much this year. Like at the end of this year, we're gonna have to just like sit down and like basically wipe everything and be like, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
And it's going to depend a lot on, what has happened the last few weeks that you guys haven't seen. and kind of how the rest of this ice season progresses with filming. So I do everywhere that people have figured out that we're going to go, we do want to go to. I just don't know how quickly it will happen.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because we got a lot of places to go. Video equipment. We're using GoPro 9s for almost everything
besides the lives.
Besides the live, but we need to change that because
Yeah.
that 7 just kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Yeah, so GoPro 9s are awesome. I have a lot of people ask about what to start with. Get a GoPro 9, film on your cell phone.
How about
That's
your
a great way
big
to
camera
start.
stuff?
Big camera, we switched this year to a Sony a7S III. We're filming everything in 4K, so the video this year's looked really, really, really good. New camera, so that's why.
The lenses too. You dabbled with some different lenses.
The long lens.
The long
Sick.
lens was
Oh,
sick.
that's a G Master f2.8 70 to 200, I think. Something like that. If you have specific lens questions, I can ask you. I don't want to bore everyone.
That
Yeah.
doesn't sound right.
That's what it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Either that or the
think that's
Sony
what you had
brand.
texted me what it was.
So these two questions will kind of go together. How do you guys find river backwaters? Would love to hike to a spot like Pink and Griff went to. Along with when accessing backwaters, how do you determine if you're crossing public or private land? Pink, you want to talk about some of this since you've done a lot of it?
Yeah. What was the first one when I?
How do you find them?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah. So first thing, like regardless of property boundaries, is just finding areas that I think would hold fish, or like I think I talked about before earlier was, areas that are one, they have water year round, or places that reload on a flood that aren't directly connected to the river that can sustain a fish population through the summer. Because what you'll have happen is maybe it doesn't flood every single year, but if it floods, every other year, if it maintains oxygen, the fish will stay in there. So finding those areas, and I use like Google Earth for that a lot because you can go back. There's a feature on there where you can actually go back through historical aerial photos. So a lot of areas you can see like 10 to 15 plus years of aerial photography for an area. So if you kind of use the slider to go through that, you can see when things are attached to the river channel, when they're not. And then you can tell if, at certain years when the water's low, if they're dry or not. So just finding those type of areas. And then once you figure out, 6 or so of them that you're like, okay, these are potential spots, then using an app like OnX or Hunt Stand or some sort of mapping app like that shows property boundaries, going through there, figuring out a route into it. Some of them are private around like the whole thing, other than maybe like a little channel coming in from the river or something, so that you'd have to actually access via the ice, which we've done before. But yeah, basically just figuring out a handful of spots and then actually checking them. And sometimes you strike out, you have to hike. Like the spot me and Griff went to was over a mile hike in there. And I mean, I'd been there before, so I knew that there were, it was a spot that held fish, but like we could have just as easily went in there and been like, wow, this sucks really bad. And then just hiked out and been like, cross it off. So it's a lot of experiment.
That's what we love about it though.
Yeah. But that gets you into places that nobody else is fishing too.
Show us an inside turn versus an outside turn. Seems different for all. Waldo's going to show you the One Boat Network app.
So this one has 2 inside turns. Oop, hit a button. This one has 2 inside turns. It's got a deeper inside turn right here. That's going to be your deeper inside turn. And then it's got a shallower inside turn up here. So it's literally just where the structure cut, or the depth contours cut into shallow water or deeper water. Outside turn is going to be right here. This would be an outside turn of a point. And typically we like to fish inside turns because they're going to be funnels.
Nice. All right, cool. Got that. Depth range in the metro. Good place to start. Like I think we said earlier, but like 12 to 16. I think that's a 12 to 18, maybe somewhere around there. Middle depth. Have you ever chased crappie in Michigan? Yeah, we went to the UP last year. We got a couple videos out from there last year, so they're in season 3. Pink, drum fishing tips. What do you got for people?
Oh my God. Okay. So I don't have a ton of experience doing this.
New to the drum game.
But I have had some success doing this, finding them in the basin. And then one thing that I did find with drum is they hate being drilled on. But if you do drill on them, the school will blow up and they keep coming back to the same areas over and over again. So I don't know if it's like they're rooting something out of the bottom or whatever. But if you find a school, watch, like if you're using live, watch them, see kind of an area that they're using, go and drill it out. Drill like 20 holes and then just be quiet. And when they come back through, they're really aggressive. So they're easy to get to bite, but they absolutely hate getting drilled on. So find them, post up, and you'll crush them. I think every single one that I caught the last time I went was on a schoolie rod on a Mackie and a drop kick. And
God, they're fun though.
God, did they melt your reel though? It's like when you look, they are so angry. But yeah.
All right. So a lot of people, a lot of interest in the whole Wisconsin thing. If you guys want us to go to Wisconsin, just like slide the DMs and everything. We've heard it a lot over the last 4 years. Wisconsin honestly might be our biggest fan base, and I largely just don't want to go there because I hate the Packers. But if we
love the Packers, so we're going.
Yeah. So if we need to go there in the next few years, hit us up with I mean, if you want to see it, and also like if you got some cool other species, that could help out. We didn't really get to do it this year, but we kind of want to show, like when we went to Maine and caught those white perch, we had a really good time. So we would like to do a little bit of other species when we go on the road. So if you guys got ideas that are close to other stuff, let us know. Coy said you leaked it on an IG post. So I'm going to be honest,
this
Coy.
Guy is lagging.
I'm going to be honest, Coy. We have not decided if we're going to like go to Wisconsin or not. We barely even talked about it. So Pink might have just like made a decision and posted that, but it has not been made by all of us.
I have never typed the words Eau Claire into Instagram.
I can't wait till you get a screenshot of like
Send
you
it.
with a location somewhere.
Send me it. Where is it?
It'll be very funny.
Right? Also,
Yeah.
like, oh damn.
Yeah.
My DMs are wide open right now. Let's
Coy, if you find where he commented Eau Claire somewhere on Instagram, if you find it and send it to me, I will send you another like giveaway of some sort. He won, I think, a reel or a clam pack earlier. I'll send you something if you send it to me.
Yeah. Let's see it.
Meat,
Now you're mad.
meat versus plastic, Griff.
I mean, we don't ever use meat, so I mean, usually a pinhead, nothing, and then plastic on the drop kick or whatever we use for tungsten jig.
How many miles do you have to walk to get to these backwater areas? Sometimes 10 feet, sometimes
2 miles.
2.5 miles.
Yeah. Season 2, we did like 2.5 miles, and it was excruciating.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes you can drive right to them.
It's just
Yeah.
drug it across sand.
Yeah,
There was no snow.
with all of the camera gear.
Yeah. When you say edges of basins, do you find a gradual drop or a steep drop better? So more spread out contours or tight contours. Generally speaking, I would say spread out.
Yeah.
The more flatter, the better. However, if it's a sunset situation or like they're pushing bait into an area, that's when you're going to look for sharper contours because they're pushing bait up to something to feed. God, Pink, sorry, but I have to bring it up because there's so many questions about it. Pink, are you thinking about Frozen Kitchen 2.0? So many new recipes. Would love to have these new ones too.
Okay, here's what I would say on that.
We have to figure out
Till
Amazon.
we get the printing and distribution thing figured out, we can't. It's just like that's where it's at right now. So thinking about it, yes, thinking about it, but that's all I'm going to give you.
How do you get fish to bite without bait?
Jig and gating.
Jig it?
Jig it.
Or sometimes not.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Or sometimes not.
Give her a dangle, you know?
Michael Otto. Yes, Pass the Barb, if you did not know, is the #1 outdoor podcast in the world.
It's incredible that we've been able to take it to that level, but it
Without
really is.
without the Chronicle fans even knowing, that's the best part. Most of them didn't even know. We did it
Absolutely
behind the
incredible.
door. So if you guys want to go to it, go look at it. Do we believe moon phases have an effect? They probably do. I haven't correlated it.
Yeah,
that
we really
much.
don't watch those that much, so like
We're
don't-
already so wound up in so
Yeah.
many other things we think are legit that
Yeah.
adding the moon.
and you don't see a lot of correlation with panfish though in a moon. Like you see it more with predator
With
fish, like,
larger predators.
yeah, like your walleyes, your muskies, like they're really like
Even during the
reliant
spawn,
on that.
we don't.
Yeah, you
notice
don't really notice much unless you
No.
know.
Griff, read that question out and answer it.
Have your crew ever caught an 18-inch crappie?
Yeah, Griff's got 20 of them.
I've caught a bunch of them, but we haven't together, which we're going to.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There's your answer.
That's a good one.
I don't want to showcase certain areas.
Okay.
No, what app do you use for barometric pressure? You just went over it. Weather Underground is what we use. It's don't use the app though, use the website, because on the website you can look at the 10-day forecast and it gives you a barometric pressure forecast. And we really start paying heavy attention to it when it's like 3 days out. That's where it gets really accurate. But it gives you a good idea of when you will have pressure changes. So it's the black line on their graph.
And it's real easy to read.
Yeah,
but it is buried. Like it's only in the 10-day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't need to talk anymore about that.
Okay.
Yeah, see, PB says no Wisconsin. I'm with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So all you Wisconsin guys. So if you guys got more questions and stuff, hit us up. We're starting to finally catch up on everything so we can get to more. Plus, we're rolling into like 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is typically when we end these things. Yep. So one thing I will say, we're going to bring up one more time. Saturday, the 24th, we are having our Break Your PB St. Jude fundraiser. You guys can come hang out with us at Giesenbräu, have some beers. First 50 people with the $20 suggested donation are going to get a free pint glass. And then there will be a bunch of different prizes you can win, raffle prizes from all our sponsors, thousands of dollars of stuff, honestly. So you'll come, you buy some different raffle tickets, put them in a bucket, see what you can win. And then we'll have grand prizes that include even a trip out with all of us. Trip out with all of us, get to go chase giant crappies and do the whole thing. So that's what we got going on there. Otherwise, we're going to answer a few more questions and we're probably going to call it a night. So now I need to find a question. So here we go.
While you're waiting on that, do we want to just tell them there is a super secret merch sale happening?
Yeah, Coy said, I wish I took a screenshot now, but it was an IG story photo of an Eau Claire wooden sign.
Oh, well, I think I was just driving through Eau Claire and I took a picture of the sign.
He did get you. You said it.
And then you responded saying people are going to think we're fishing. And then I said, ha ha. I think that was how it went.
He's right. He
Oh.
got you.
I'd invite Coy to suck it and we'll move on.
How many lakes in Minnesota do you think hold 18-inch crappies, and do you hit the same lakes over and over for these fish? We fish quite a few different lakes and rivers. Some places we revisit more than often or more than others. I don't think there's a lake we have a video on. I don't think there's a lake we filmed on more than three.
Yeah, three.
Maybe
times.
3. Yeah, I think that'd be the most we've revisited a place. Most of them are like one and done, maybe twice, but
or like once a season.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we don't put out like a bunch on one lake in a season. We definitely don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
How many lakes?
A lot more than we think.
Yeah,
Probably
I would
more than we
say
think.
40, but realistically, probably double that.
I honestly was gonna say 30 to 40.
Yeah.
So, but it's probably. I have faith that we could catch one in 30 to 40 lakes and rivers, like river spots. I would say.
Yeah.
But it's probably double that.
Absolutely.
Is there going to be cornhole?
No, that was one and done.
Next year. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Just hang on. Walter, are you going to get any color on your new tattoo?
Not on this one. This one's just shading.
But the map has some color in it.
Yeah, the crappie's got some blue in it, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not decided.
Are you guys going to make another episode in Ottertail County? We're probably done going to Ottertail. This year was an emergency mission, and now that we've been there twice, I would not imagine seeing it maybe ever again in the series, to be honest. We love the area. We love the people. They've been great to us. Go up and visit them and everything.
And it's just one of the most fun areas for any species.
Yeah.
I think we'd go there fun fishing for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
think putting out like more episodes there. is
Yeah.
really-
Because
Yeah, I can't
I've
really-
been fun fishing up there since high school with Krug. I mean, it's an amazing area. It's just, we like showing you guys different areas,
Yeah.
different bites. And yeah, we get sick of going to the same places so many different times because the lakes oftentimes will set up similar. You know?
Would you consider doing an online auction to go along with? It's all in person only. There's just a lot of logistics with online, and unfortunately, with with filming the series, I was reading the Catch and Cook thing. Unfortunately, with filming the series too, we don't have a ton of time for like organizing stuff like that. So, getting this one day together for everything, if everybody can show out, it'll be good. Coy wants to know if he gets a giveaway then.
So giveaway or what?
For what?
He proved you wrong. Yeah, Coy,
Give him a code.
We'll give you something.
We'll give you a code. That's where, give him one vote now for a code. Griff said
Yep,
that.
hit up
I might
Griff.
send you
Alright,
something
fine.
too, but yeah,
Fine.
hit Griff up. I might send you something else too. How often do we go fishing outside of filming for content as a group or personally?
A lot.
I was gonna say last year was a lot more because it was just like the big trips and then we got home
Yeah.
and we could do stuff. This year it's been a lot of filming again, kind of like season 2. I would honestly say it's a lot of filming right now because if we catch an 18 off camera, I think that one of the 4 of us might get killed.
Oh yeah.
So at this point, we're scared to fish without a camera because we need to get it on camera, and then life will be good. So,
But like even outside of this, like in the summer, like we still
Yeah.
fish together.
Oh,
quite
yeah.
a bit.
yeah. Waldo and Griff are 3-time defending Crappie tournament champions on Minnetonka for the spring one. Going for 4 now,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Well, going for the 4-peat. All right, cool. I finally caught up on questions. So if anyone has anything else, hit us up. Otherwise, we're gonna
Yeah.
call it good.
Come to Pennsylvania. I can put you on dinks.
Yeah, Ron wants us to come to Pennsylvania. All right, cool.
That was awesome.
If all the crappies in a lake on a certain day are spooky, would there be any chance of catching a big one that day, or would you hop to a different lake? We'd leave.
Yeah, we.
If they're just flying around, that's where we're like, nope, not here today.
Yep. If it's not the deal, we don't like to force things when we could be spending time on another body of water whacking them.
Oh, Justin, the Catch and Cook discount code. If you go to Thorne Brothers, you can use Catch Cook 23, buy 2, get 2 free on their website right now. That's better than our code. So just go use that one. Buy from Thorne Brothers, not us.
And
Help you
ice
save
suits.
some money.
Ice suits, 30% off.
Yeah, ice suits
those
30%
deltas.
off as well. The deltas, they're very good. The website for lake research is just a Minnesota DNR website. If you Google Minnesota DNR Lake Finder, it'll pop right up. PB White Crappie. I can't say that yet because it got broken. So there's your teaser for next year.
We got mine 2 years ago.
We got yours 2 years ago.
Yep, 15 3/4.
Yeah,
2
mine-
pounds, 4 ounces.
Mine got broken and it's on film. So that one's
Yeah.
still coming. We can't talk about that one
I
yet.
got a 15.5.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. That one. Did we just film that one?
No, that was 15.25. That one.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that was big.
The windy day.
The windy day.
Are we gonna fish that lake until we get an 18? We already put quite a few days in. It was a special day, man. They haven't showed up much.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if we'll get one out there, to be honest. Need another really special day. All right, just trying to catch up on it. Yeah, sorry, Dakota. You missed that. You didn't watch the last episode all the way through. You're outing yourself.
Jeez.
Mhm.
Yeah, no more new episodes this year. There's still season 4 videos. They will come out next fall. We're still filming right now. And yeah, we will get more. Heather, sorry, I'm scrolling through a bunch. Ask your question quick. We'll answer, hopefully. If it's a good question, we'll answer it.
Is that spinner for open water or ice fishing?
Is that what the
was
question was?
Yeah.
Trying a spinner lure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's talking about open water.
Open water? Yeah, you're talking open water. Or you talking?
I mean,
ice
you can
fishing?
try throwing a spinnerbait down the hole and see what happens, but
Like a beetle spin might be kind of sick.
slowly reel it up, let her fire down.
Could be legit. I don't know. I never tried it.
I've never tried it either.
Have you ever had luck ice fishing for walleyes during the day on Tonka? I have not heard of much success.
No.
I haven't.
No,
You catch some randos, but it's more of the morning, evening bite, and then on throughout the night you'll get some.
It also depends on where you're at on the lake.
That's true.
If you're dirty water, you can catch
You-
them easier during
Yeah,
the day.
your chances are going to be much
But-
higher. But
The clear side of the lake, it's a night bite.
We have never been on an airboat,
Oh,
so you're wrong.
I
There
would
was
love
an
to
there
do
was
that.
an
Definitely would,
airboat
though.
there. I have been near an airboat that was not part of us, but we've never been on an airboat, so no, you didn't see us in an airboat.
Yeah.
But
We
if you'd
talked
like
about
to
doing
take
it,
us
but
out-
if you'd
like-
like to take us
I
out
would
in an
love an
airboat, we
airboat.
got some ideas.
Yeah,
and it
I
would
would-
not
But
be
we
on
got
a
some
lake.
places
And
that
it,
would be
it would
sick.
not be on a lake.
I would love an
so
airboat ride because
that's
we got some
waste.
spots.
That's wasting an airboat.
Yeah.
Now we're done with Red Lake. We did our video. Everyone else go have fun. Please return some of the fish so it doesn't get completely decimated. But yeah, go enjoy it and then have a good time. Open water. Yeah. So Heather had said yes, open water. Yeah, you can chuck a rooster tail or spinner or bucktail, whatever.
Yeah, rooster tail or a beetle spin.
That's what I'm not. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
following the spinner lure thing, so I don't know which one you're talking about. There's a bunch of stuff that spins. So, yeah, I mean they work great open water.
Jason, we do not like to fish. Yep, here we go.
I appreciate it, Jason, but we don't fish anywhere private.
Yep, we do not fish private
We've never,
lakes.
we've never filmed private. We've gotten some great offers, including this one, but
Yeah.
we only film places where other people can fish.
Yep, because it's not fair to everyone else if we get offered a private lake and not everyone gets offered that.
Yeah. So other than that,
But thank you for the offer. That's very nice.
what did I go to college for? I did not go to college for editing. So yeah, no, all self-taught there. I went to college for recreation tourism and communication studies. The difference between Navionics and the One Boat Network app, they both have different maps. I think the One Boat Network app's better.
Yeah.
Especially on bigger lakes.
And it's half the price.
Matt, I will post a link for the fundraiser on my story and everything when we get there. So you might not be able to win prizes, but you can donate if you want. And we're super appreciative of that. So thank you very much. I have not tried Mille Lacs for crappie.
There are giants.
There are
We'll live
giants.
there.
They're very hard. So yeah. All right. Sounds good. Thank you everybody for showing out. We appreciate all you guys for coming. Like we've said, little tidbit for everyone before we check out for the live stream viewers only. There's a live stream 20 code, 20% off our merch until Friday, February 16th, at 7 p.m. So use the code live stream 20. And yeah, you will get that off. Thorne Brothers having some closeout sales right now, so definitely go hit them up. And we'll see everybody Saturday, the 24th, at our Break Your PB fundraiser for St. Jude. We'll have some beers with everybody and hang out. But yeah, we'll have a good time. Okay, Jason said that we can go to public waters too to get an 18. Yeah, send us some pics if you got pics of 18s. You know, we're always intrigued. So maybe we could go out. We've talked about going out east again. So Pennsylvania is definitely out there. I know one guy. So what's your PB? Say 20 minutes from Minneapolis. Waldo's PB is from. I'm not going to say how close, but it's within.
It's within
30 miles. Yeah, 30 miles. I'd say.
Yeah.
Actually, my PB now is from within 30.
Or even like that white.
Yeah, the
My
white
PB
is
white. My PB
his
white.
PB white
Yeah.
is. Yeah, a lot of them are. People think we go like super freaking far. Like
No.
I'm just really good at filming shorelines that you all think we're in the middle of nowhere. So that's really what it comes down to. So yeah. So if everyone, go like this stream, share it, get it out to everyone. Yeah, I like Racer Guy 18. You get a One Boat Network code. Hit us up. Hit Griff up. You get one. Yeah. Only 35 likes, 167 people. All you guys go like it, comment, do everything. We're going to peace out for the night. We appreciate all of you. We'll see you guys Saturday, the 24th. And other than that, have a good one. Thank you, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.